The basement, where nerdiness thrives, and grown men rant about toys.
What up, basement dwellers?
Welcome back to the basement, boys and girls.
Welcome back to Fresh from the Basement.
The Ghostbusters retrospective.
Yeah, the fucking finale.
And what a way to go out.
Yeah, what a way to end this shit. Gone.
First off, oh wait, what were you gonna say?
Gone are the lovable characters.
No more theories.
Yeah, no more really fucked up theories to ruin your childhoods. Gone is the clever writing.
Secure fucking movie.
Say what?
We have a safe and secure fucking movie.
Yeah.
For all ages.
One that will just be fucking safe. Kinzu, you gotta watch out.
And in that way, forgettable.
Yeah, speaking of forgettable, today was the second time I watched this movie, and I could not remember a majority of it. I watched it back in March or April or so, around the time we did the first episode of this, and I remembered, the only shit that I remembered was the shit that I saw in the trailer.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thing. It's really bad because I watched it last night and my memory is still hazy of it. It's just that bad.
Man.
But before we get started, I just want to say that we are officially taking Doug Walker to court because of that recent review.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it yet.
Blatantly stole a gag from a podcast he's never heard before.
What was the gag? See, I haven't even seen the I actually haven't watched any new Nostalgia Critic probably since the Fox Kids episode.
Yeah, he made the same joke that the music in Ghostbusters 2 is still better than the Missy Elliott Fall Out Boy version.
Oh yeah. Yeah, great minds think alike.
That's straight up Travis's joke.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
But
now I just watch Nostalgia Critic as like an observer now. After all that's happened, now I'm just like, alright, what is this enigma?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't yeah, I haven't but I had fallen out of it for, a long time, so it's neither here nor there to me. I hate that all that crap went down.
Yeah.
But, I had been done with most of them people for a couple years now, so,
Movie Nights is a pretty good show from,
yeah, Lupa,
upstairs
I've seen
Lupa.
some of that. I've seen some of that. I've always liked her.
I keep up with that.
I've always liked her and Phalis' style of humor anyway, that very dry, doofy sort of, so...
It's like silly, but like not too silly, you know what I mean? And they pull it off so well, I can't even really describe it.
Yeah, it's a very different kind of comedy.
They like birthed a new style of humor.
Seriously. So, Ghostbusters 2016, don't you hate the fact that now you can't just say, oh man, I love Ghostbusters. No, now you have to be more specific.
Well, they added in a shitty subtitle after the fact.
Yeah.
It's on all DVDs and in the end credits.
Answer the call.
Ghostbusters Answer the Call.
They did the same thing with the X-Files movie,
I Want to Believe.
No, they did it with the very first one. People call it Fight the Future because that was the tagline of the movie. So people call it X-Files Fight the Future.
Ah.
But yeah, they did the same thing pretty much with I Want to Believe. Like that was more or less the title of the episode and or the tagline.
Oh man.
Yeah.
This movie. I really wish I watched Predator instead.
Eh.
And I know all the feminists out there are thinking right now, typical man.
Typical man. You know, I guess we gotta get into the history of Ghostbusters 2016 to provide some context. So what year? We're pretty much gonna start with for years they have been trying to do a Ghostbusters 3.
Yes.
And they could never come to an agreement. They could
sometimes Bill Murray was on board, sometimes he wasn't.
Yeah, there were many different scripts.
Including Ghostbusters Go to Hell.
Yeah, Hell Hatton.
Yeah. I still think that's one of the better scripts, even though it seems completely crazy, and maybe it wouldn't have been good, but it would have at least been different and visually interesting.
Yeah, dude, this cat is going crazy. So, yeah, and I remember there were reports of Bill Murray saying that, oh, I'll be in it if you kill me. And
yes, I remember that too.
So they write a script where they kill him, and he comes back as a ghost that hangs out with him. And I have read that he literally ate that script right in front of him. And I would love it if that story is true. That is just perfect Bill Murray right fucking there.
Coke-induced rage.
Fucking I am. Jesus.
That would have been terrible, Ghost Bill Murray.
Man, you ain't lying. That would have been awful.
Would be just as bad as the CG Egon Spangler idea that they kicked around for a bit.
Oh shit, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So it sat in development hell for years, and even to the point where when it hadn't even been that long, an episode of The Critic sort of spoofed the idea of a Ghostbusters 3, and then in the cartoon I can't remember if it was Ghost Breakers 3 he was supposed to write, and it ends with a 50-foot Ed Koch walking around New York City talking about, how am I doing? How am I doing? And like that was like 93. So people not even too long after Ghostbusters 2 were making fun of the fact that Ghostbusters 3 was an impossible movie to make.
Yeah. I actually read Max Landis. This was recently, like in the wake of the 2016 movie. He published his draft of his idea of a Ghostbusters 3 online somewhere. And it had some cool ideas, but I think, like, Jesus Christ, Ghostbusters 3 is impossible because nobody can get it right. Everyone has interesting ideas, but, like, I gotta send you the link to Max Landis' draft because it's out there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's very Max Landis-y, I guess.
Now, who is Max Landis? That's a name I'm familiar with, but I can't place a...
He's John Landis' son. And
is this the John Landis that killed himself?
No, the John Landis that made Blues Brothers.
Oh... I'm thinking
of... So his son is like a screenwriter and filmmaker in his own right. He wrote Chronicle and stuff like that, but he's very open about his opinions. He's very, he's a talker, you know what I mean? And he has this personality that some people like and some people hate. So he's kind of controversial for anyone who knows him.
I'm thinking of Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah, he killed himself.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that guy. But yeah, Chronicle... That was a kind of cool movie.
Yeah, he has good ideas. It's just somewhere in his execution, it's like there are cracks in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
but the way he presents himself, he makes it seem like he's really fucking like genius. But I guess it's just because he's very passionate. So in the end, like, I do admire the guy. I
gotta just say one thing about Chronicle is I dug the movie. Okay, you know, we've all wished we could fuck with children in a toy store like that, but there's one part of that movie that always annoyed me is the fact that after the black guy dies and they have his funeral, there's a shitload of white people at that funeral. And maybe a black mom and dad, but I mean, where's the rest of this guy's family? It's nothing but white people. It's 100 white people at this funeral.
That I can't answer.
Oh, it's.
Where's your answer, Max Landis?
Yeah, that's one of them things that's like, what is going on here? But yeah, that we're. So where are we?
Ghostbusters 3 kind of became a joke.
Say what?
So Ghostbusters 3 kind of became a joke.
Yeah, it just became a joke. People quit talking about it. They make the video game. That's your Ghostbusters 3, people.
And it really isn't that bad. It's a fun game, so no complaints there.
Yeah, so that's the best you're ever gonna get. Unless the original Ghostbusters 3 was the cartoon, because it takes... Well, I mean, technically it's the original Ghostbusters 2 because it takes place directly after the first movie, so...
Yeah, the cartoon came out before 2.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can go both ways, but technically the best bet for a 3 is that video game. And I know, you know, a lot of people don't play video games. I actually never played the video game, but, you know...
There's a lot of love in the making of it. It's exactly what it needed to be. And it's above average, and if you just want more Ghostbusters stuff, it's a great reunion of those characters.
Yeah, it's like when you take before we ever got Ash vs. Evil Dead, the 3 Evil Dead video games. Yeah, those were the best they could be as far as continuing Ash's story. And you know, I enjoyed all 3 of those games. And
the story to the video game, like, isn't perfect, but it's at least more interesting than 2, and it ties it back to the first movie, so it all wraps up well.
Yeah.
Except Peter is not with Dana, so really it renders Ghostbusters 2 useless.
Okay. So it sort of just ignores it.
Yeah, Peter gets with a character played by Alyssa Milano.
Oh, wow. So, move on to 2014, and we have the unexpected death of Harold Ramis.
Yep.
Probably the main reason, or at least a big chunk of the main reason that original movie was so good.
Absolutely. You know, Dan was the creative mind behind it, while, you know, Harold Ramis kept it in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He took Dan Aykroyd's insanity and said, listen, we could do some of this, but let's, you know, do this. And, you know, worked out the kinks with Dan. So, yeah, he really is the mastermind.
Like, this man has made some really damn good movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's directed Groundhog Day. You know, he didn't direct, but he was a screenwriter for the Ghostbuster movies. But you know, screenwriter for Caddyshack and director of Caddyshack. Fucking screenwriter for Meatballs and Animal
Stripes.
House.
He did Stripes, right?
Yeah, let me see. Where is Stripes in the timeline here? Yeah, he wrote Stripes. And even the, in his later career, he was doing good stuff like Analyze This, Analyze That.
Yeah.
The Ice Harvest.
Year one was a bit of a failure, but
You know what? I loved Year One, just because of the outlandish Bible parodies in there. Because I know a lot about the I like God, how do I say this? I'm really into Bible history. And I'm always watching shit like Mysteries of the Bible and stuff like that. And the way Year One really spoofs, especially like the Abraham and the covenant between God and Abraham and shit, that shit is fucking hilarious to me in that movie. When they bust up on fucking Abraham about to freaking murder Isaac and shit, like there's a lot of funny ass shit in that movie to me. And
it came to Netflix, so I should give it a watch and maybe see for myself. I've just heard bad things about Year One.
Yeah, it's not a great movie, but if you know Bible history and you're not offended easy, it's fucking hilarious. People are just afraid
I know there's like a
to...
Leroy Jenkins joke in there somewhere.
Huh?
I know there's like a Leroy Jenkins joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, something like that. Dude, it's been so long since I've seen it. Oh, man.
And I remember when it came out. I remember seeing advertising for it when it came out.
Because you've got these cavemen who, they bite off of the tree of knowledge and shit, and they just venture around. They wind up in Sodom and Gomorrah, and what's his name? Damn it, David Cross. He's really funny in the movie to me.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah, it's a really good movie if you know your Bible history and are not offended. It's just people are afraid to spoof the Bible. That's why I love shit like History of the World, and you have your 10 Commandments.
I was just
moments.
about to say that these 15 tops one 10 Commandments.
Shit like that, and like Life of Brian from Monty Python. Those are some of the funniest fucking movies in the world because they had balls to spoof.
There's a lot of material in the Bible
exactly
that is like spoofable.
Yeah, there's a lot of what the fuck is this kind of shit in the Bible that is very spoofable. So yeah, Harold Ramis has a pretty fucking Bedazzled. That was garbage.
But he has a pretty good track record.
Yeah,
overall,
definitely.
He was a talented person.
Yeah, definitely a fucking... Stewart saves his family, like, come on. So, yeah, he fucking dies unexpectedly in 2014.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And as soon as he dies, it seemed like, boom, this man is dead. We're fucking making a new Ghostbusters. It was barely a year later. Not even...
They're like, the gatekeeper is dead, now we can get our dirty fingers on it.
Exactly. It's like... It would have been like... it felt like just like as soon as Disney got a hold of fucking Star Wars, boom, here's this. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to shove it down your throat. That's exactly what happened with this.
They really tried to do that. They tried to make a cinematic universe, which is just stupid.
Yeah.
There's not much you could do with Ghostbusters for a cinematic universe. We're going to do an all-male version next with, like, Jonah Hill and shit. Okay. So it starts off with the Ghost Corps logo, which goes nowhere.
Yeah, man. Ghost Corps. Jesus Christ.
Suck my dick.
Jesus Christ. That's a company that lasted a year. Fucking, so, before the movie comes out, as soon as it's announced, it's going to be all-female Ghostbusters. There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. I remember I kind of overreacted, but it wasn't because they were women. It's because I knew they were going to go the feminist route about it.
And
the super feminist route about it. I shouldn't say feminist because, there are cool feminists out there, but they're getting overshadowed by these super feminists, as I like to call them. I sound like Alex Jones right now.
And see, I don't
these
normally...
super feminists are coming for you, so buy these pills.
Yeah, buy these pills. Oh, man. But the crazy thing is I don't really pay attention to politics and the feminists and the SJWs, but it was hard to avoid a lot of the crap when this movie came out. It became
so central. It's like that was overall, like, at the end of the day, that's the audience for this movie. That's what that became.
The only thing people were talking about this movie when it was coming out and getting ready was, it's girls. It's female-led. It's nothing but women. That's all they talked about. And it's like, okay, well, how about write a good story? You know, you got some talented fucking actors in there.
Yeah, they're all successful women, and they're all talented in their own right.
Yeah,
and give them a good script, you could probably get something together. You have Kristen Wiig on the crew,
yeah,
who is an Academy Award-winning writer.
Seriously, you have... And I am not a big Melissa McCarthy fan outside of Gilmore Girls. Like, I really like her on Gilmore Girls. But
she has her moments. Like, if you give her a good script, she is talented enough to, you know...
Like, she was funny on Bridesmaids.
Yeah, which was also, you know, that was written by Kristen Wiig, but directed by the same director of this new movie.
Exactly. And Bridesmaids, to me, was a much better fucking movie.
It's because Paul Feig wrote this script. The director wrote this script with some chick, when I'm sure if the chick and Kristen Wiig wrote the script, it would probably be a lot better, because the chick Paul Feig wrote this movie with, apparently, according to the Mr. Plinkett review, had a darker idea for where the story would go, and it would be a little bit in the same tone of the original. So I think Paul Feig is really the man to blame.
And I think her name is...
making it so silly.
Katie Dippold?
Yeah, Katie Dippold.
So...
Also, I think one of the producers kind of, like, inadvertently sabotaged this movie. Because they rushed it out.
They really did. And... So as all this is happening, you started getting people, like, probably the most public version of what happened is when James Rolfe said he's not going to watch the movie because
that stirred up a can of worms for like a week.
Yeah, because he didn't think it looked good. And when I first saw that trailer, I was like, this does not look good.
It doesn't look good. And people called him, like, sexist or something like that.
Yeah, because he didn't want to see a movie.
A movie that was obviously going to be bad.
And it just blew my fucking mind that people were tripping out like this. Like, get over it, man. People will see and people won't see a fucking movie. You don't need to turn it into this big fucking war. And, you know, it's just where the hell we live now, you know? Everyone is so offended. Everyone's all about equality and shit to the point...
But if anything, it makes us less equal because we're automatically pushing each other away.
Exactly. It's to the point where it's violent. And
this is a point that I want to make, that a female Ghostbusters movie could have been fine if they just did it without having to prove a point. It seems really desperate, you know what I mean? It would probably be more inspiring and cool if they played it casually and, you know, made it funny and, like I said, just did it. You know, the original Ghostbusters just was what it was.
Yeah, if they didn't just call attention to it like this and be like, boom, females, boom, like it, or you're fucking sexist.
It's just so aggressive.
Yeah, it's just so if you don't like this, you're a fucking sexist. There's so much of that going on here. It reeks of just unpleasantness. And at the
end of the day, it's just don't make it political.
Exactly. Just make a fucking funny movie. And what's really crazy and what's really sad is the fact that this movie opened the floodgates to where every other article on movie news websites, you're getting Boom, this studio is going to remake this movie with an all-female cast. Boom, this studio is going to remake this movie with an all-female cast. And to the point...
this year, fucking Overboard got gender swapped.
Overboard?
Yeah, the movie with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
I didn't see that movie. I remember the old movie, but I didn't know that it got... Is it out yet?
Yeah, no, it's out. It has Anna Faris in it and the dude from How to Be a Latin Lover, and it's essentially the same thing, but gender swapped. Well, and I'll admit, like, Overboard has its moments where it's like, wow, like, this is actually kind of fucked up, but that's kind of like, I don't know, that's kind of why it's funny to me, is because it's that weird, you know what I mean?
Oh, I had no idea about that, but the one I was going to bring up was Ocean's 8.
Oh, yeah.
And that, you know, Ocean's 11 was alright. I never saw the sequels, but, you know, Ocean's 11 was alright. But here's my point, is everyone, by pointing out that, oh, we're going to remake all these movies with a full female cast, my point is that they are all talking, oh, this is female empowerment, you know, the ladies are finally getting ahead. Well, how about create something new for these ladies to be in, as opposed to give them something that a man already did? If you're wanting...
you know, how come, you know, I'd say Bridesmaids is a triumph in its own right.
Exactly. Bridesmaids is a triumph in its own right because it's a gross-out comedy led by women. It's not a remake of Knocked Up with a female cast, you know? It's very much cut from the same cloth as the Judd Apatow gross-out romantic comedies of the mid-2000s, but it is a more female fucking styled or led fucking version of that style of movie. And that to me is where they got this right. Whereas when you get to shit like Ghostbusters with females, Ocean's 8 with females, and like you said, Overboard with females, it's just, you know, it reeks of desperation. And, you know, what's going to happen next? Are we going to get a Ninja Turtles, but it's all females? You know what I mean? Like, all they're doing is taking existing properties and they're throwing women in there as the main cast, and that's their fucking, that's the pitch. That is the pitch. Story is the backdrop. Script is the...
Yeah, exactly. It's like people will automatically like it. This is what they're assuming. People will automatically like it because it's women. And that's why this movie is actually more harmful, I think, than helpful. Because, you know, it uses its politics as a human shield. It tries to look good intentioned. But you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah. Because it's dishing out a very pretentious kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically it's saying, but you remember, did you watch any of the South Park in the past couple years?
Not really.
Okay, well there was a season where Cartman had a girlfriend, and he was all about this female equality stuff, and it was hilarious. The whole season, he keeps saying shit like, girls are funny too, girls are funny too, how about that, girls are funny too. I like Amy Schumer when she talks about her vagina. It's so funny. Girls are funny too. Girls are funny too. And it was such a great commentary on those fucking SJWs just slamming this crap down your throat like that.
Yeah.
It's just it's unpleasant, you know, because, you know, men never did this that I could think of. Like, oh man, you know, we got this movie. I don't know. But that's 30 minutes of politics behind this movie. How about let's talk about the movie?
Well, first off, the opening fucking drags.
Dude, you are not lying. A major problem with the opening to me is, okay, I get that fucking Gabe from The Office.
Office cameo number 1.
Yeah, out of many. Gabe from The Office it's a fucking haunted house tour. There's gonna be freaking smoke and mirrors. So when
I like the idea of the fake candle thing, but it takes too long to get to that.
Exactly. The candle falls, and it shows this electrical beam thingy under the table. So you're thinking, oh, that had something to do with the candle falling. Well, then, toward the end of the scene, the people leave, and he walks up, and he pushes his little button, and it shows the piece popping out of the candle that makes it fall. And it's like, ugh. You're only picking that up and hitting that button to let the audience know, oh, this is the thing that made it fall. When in real life...
It could have been expressed differently, you know?
Exactly. It was only there for the audience. It was only there for the audience who couldn't put 2 and 2 together. Because in real life, if you were running this show, when you pick the candle up, you're not going to hit the button and be like, oh, I fooled him. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to fucking pick the candle up and set it on the freaking counter, the dresser, or whatever.
And then the movie totally blows its load too early, before the title screen even shows up.
It really...
Because in the original, and I hate to keep going back to the original, because yes, each movie should stand on its own, but, you know... If it's done better, it's good to, like, show how it was done better. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, the original had the fucking library where the cards start flying and stuff like that. And that's it. Slime and fucking cards flying.
Yeah, it just lets you know.
She runs through the halls. It seems very claustrophobic. A light pops up, and then she screams. It leaves a lot to the imagination. It's short, sweet, and simple.
Yeah.
This fucking ghost is grabbing chairs out of the air, throwing the dude around.
Yeah.
Rivers of fucking slime opening up. And yeah, some of these shots were cool. Like, he tried to break out of the window, so he throws the chair, and the chair stops. That could have been cool and creepy if done better. But it just does so much in so little time.
It does. It does, like you said, so much in so little time. To the point where, oh man, I can't get out of the house because the ghost... Home Alone to the doorknob.
Yeah.
Home Alone to the doorknob. Oh, I burned my fucking hand.
With the lightsaber sound effect.
Yeah, and so guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run directly into the basement that has supposedly been locked for 100 years. And he runs to the basement.
Stupid thing in any horror movie, running to the basement.
Exactly. The only place in this house that you're not going to get out of. And when he runs down there, there's the green shit on the floor. Oh no, you're so stupid. Yeah, we know you're stupid. And it cuts to a boom, 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 right? That's what it does, right?
With no animated intro, it just cuts to the fucking title screen.
Oh,
so there's no pizzazz to it either.
Yeah, fucking, probably just an awful opening just to fucking be like, boom, we're gonna one-up the originals when they don't understand that subtleness is key.
Yes.
When this is just jacking off its own dick.
It's very fanficky.
Yeah, there you go. Very fanficky. So...
I should know. I've made bad Ghostbusters fanfic.
Oh, fucking A, man. You heard it here, y'all. Frank.
Not fucking slash fiction or anything like that. Just some shit on my YouTube channel.
I could see you writing some slash fiction. You got Bill Murray making out with Slimer and having a threesome with...
I'm sure that's out there somewhere, but not me, mister.
It's gotta be. So who does it cut to first? It cuts to Kristen Wiig, right?
Yeah, because she's a teacher and she's too much of a goofball to be a convincing teacher. She does goofy things, but also she's a plank of wood. It's hard to map this character.
Man. Alright, I don't
she's
mind...
working in the big hall, so she's doing silly things because she's nervous.
Yeah, I don't mind a nervous, quirky character. But I'm going to tell you what was awful, alright? Like we've said, we've watched this movie twice. The first time I watched it a couple months ago, I watched the theatrical version. Well, today when I turned it on, I was like, well, how bad can the extended cut be? Let me get a little bit of something different in here. This one, the theatrical cut opens up with her practicing her lines for the speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's a completely different opening before that.
I bet.
It starts...
Did you say there's like a boyfriend subplot?
Yes. It starts off with her walking into a room before this is happening, and her boyfriend, that you kind of don't really get the idea that they're boyfriends or girlfriends. I don't really... It was never made clear, because the man only had about...
movies like this can never establish relationships. It's just too sexist, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the man only had about 3 scenes in the movie.
Totally platonic, dude.
So he's kind of hitting on her, but talking like they're together at the same time. Like, oh, here, meet this lady that you're a fan of. Oh, I'm such a fan of you. And I'm nervous, and I'm doing quirky shit. And the man playing her, I hate it for him because he's a really good actor that I like. I never remember his name, but he played Uncle Andy on Weeds. If you've ever seen Weeds, he is the man. I know of it. Yeah, he is the man playing on here. And in the theatrical version, the version most people have seen, he's completely cut out of the movies. It's like, you guys paid this man. Had him act. The man doesn't get a lot of roles. And you fucking cut him out.
He was cut.
Huh?
I'm sure he's glad he was cut.
Yeah, seriously.
Saved my career.
Yeah. So, it opens with this garbage, and it makes you think that he's onto her, and she doesn't want anything, because when they go to kiss, she kisses his shoulder or the lapel of his suit before she goes off to her little speech. And so it's like, okay, whatever, this is he wants to be with me, but I don't want to be with him kind of thing. But they kind of make that a little weird on his next scene. Well, not the next scene, but the scene after that. And so, yeah, then we cut to the theatrical version where it opens. She's in the classroom practicing her fucking words. And she starts wiggling her butt.
Yes.
And
indeed, wiggling her butt.
She's wiggling her butt. And she's saying something. I can't remember what she's saying. She's saying it over and over. And
she's saying something to motivate herself. She's being a already, I'm not convinced you're a fucking teacher.
Yeah. And so, Lannister comes in. Tyrion Lannister's dad, or the Red Eye from Last Action Hero. He walks in, and I swear, I keep waiting for him to be like, oh my. What's all this?
I don't know any of the dialogue spoken in this scene. Like, I could recite the fucking first movie, but what were they even talking about? Like, just something about her fucking job, and
yeah, the same shit.
Out that a book was published under her name and the other Melissa McCarthy's character.
Yeah, they basically, her and this boss guy, the dean, I assume, just say the same shit they say in every scene that both of them are in together about blah 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 tenure. Oh, I'm blah blah blah, I'm trying to be good enough. Blah 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 tenure.
Blah blah blah, we don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, we don't believe in ghosts. You better not talk about ghosts. We believe in science and school. And so
this fucking movie is killing me.
God, I believe it. And so if there's no more episodes of Fresh from the Basement, people, this movie killed Frank.
This movie busted me.
Yeah, it fucking busted you hard. And so yeah, that happens. And once he walks out, this old man walks in there, and he's like, well, you're this lady I'm looking for. Because you say something about ghosts. Now this is a thing. This is part of the humor of this movie that it can be done good, But God, I cannot think of an example where it has been done good. But I've seen this style of humor done good somewhere, but I cannot think of where.
Are you talking about the rambling humor?
The rambling humor where it goes like this. The scene is the old man says, "Oh, you're the lady I'm looking for." "Oh, no, I'm not that lady." "Oh, but it's got your picture here." "Oh, that's not me." "Yes, it is me." That was made as a joke." "Oh, really? When the first page says, this is not a joke?" Like, that kind of humor is very Family Guy-ish in a way.
Very family, yes. They are one of the best examples. And in the early seasons, it was done pretty well because there was nothing really like that before. And then everyone tried to do it. The Office does it with questionable success.
Yeah, The Office did it pretty good. Parks and Rec did it better.
Who?
Parks and Recreation did it better.
Well, Katie Dippold wrote a lot of episodes of Park and Rec.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're making connections.
Yeah. And Paul Feig directed a couple of episodes of The Office.
Wow.
So it's all cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, and Parks and Rec was great. The Office was pretty good. Like, how do they fuck this up? So what happens next? Oh yeah, she finds out.
Melissa McCarthy comes back into her life.
They
through
put this book on Amazon. Damn it! I need to go say something to them. And so yeah, it cuts to Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig
complaining about wontons.
Yes, Jesus, this running joke in the movie, like whoever wrote this gag must have thought it was the funniest shit ever, because it's all over the movie. Even during the credit scenes, they keep coming back. They keep coming back to this joke, and it's like, what? Who thought this was funny?
Travis.
Yo.
Travis, you get it because she's fat.
Is that really the joke?
That's what I'm assuming. Ha ha. She's fat and wants more wontons. Even though Melissa McCarthy is like not even that anymore. You know what I mean?
But to me,
she's not even fat anymore.
But is the joke like, is it a fat joke, or is it the kind of joke?
That's the only way it can make sense to me. Because if it's not a fat joke, then it's just stupid.
Yeah, but could it be like a, hey, in real life, when we order some food or something, we want more of that food, and when they give it to us, it's not to our liking, and we want to say something to the person, but we don't, so let's have her get one wonton when she wants 10. So she complains and says what the audience wants to say to their waiters or delivery guys.
Which is sad, because the dude who delivers the Chinese food in this movie, he was in Deadpool. I've seen him in a lot of comedies, and he's usually a very good comedic actor.
Yeah?
So it's kind of wasted talent, because he's made me chuckle in a couple of films he's been in.
And he does nothing in this movie. You could have cut all of these scenes out of the movie.
This is a whole nothing movie, and this is why I kind of want to get into the characters.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
So what happens next?
So far, Kristen Wiig is just a bland plank of wood.
Yeah.
And Melissa McCarthy doesn't shut her fucking mouth.
And the sad thing is, all right, the Kristen Wiig is a sad plank of wood who's very quirky, and that's all. That is it.
Exactly. They're such, like, it's bland because there's such generic character traits that there's really no room for growth. Like, the Ghostbusters of back then, they were just weird enough to feel real.
That's why we were able to come up with all these crazy theories about those other characters, is because their characters had a lot of personality to them.
And there was a lot left to... The way they acted, the way they reacted, the way they interacted, like, it all fucking, you know... I'm losing my train of thought here, but it all, like, you know, it left some up to your imagination, but you also got the idea. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And so we meet Melissa McCarthy bitching about wontons.
And then we meet
Kate McKinnon, who...
I want to like her. I want to like her because she seems pretty talented. She's made me chuckle a couple of times on SNL. But her character, aside from the design of the character, she's a cool-looking character, but she's just awful to me.
Really, though, like, to me, she's the only character in the movie that has any kind of personality. She's the only...
It's really tacked on because she's just the lol random character.
Yeah, but I don't know, I like that randomness because... To me, she has some of the funniest lines in the movie. Like you said...
She does, but also she's there just to mug.
Yeah, she's there to look weird. She's there to just look weird and say weird shit. But I like that kind of shit. Like, just...
She's there to be the lesbian Ghostbuster.
Yeah, which
they
is...
They kind of hint at it.
Yeah, they slightly hint at it, and...
And, you know, it also makes sense because in real life, you know, Kate McKinnon is lesbian, so...
Yeah, and, like, there's nothing wrong with that, except for the fact that they didn't commit.
Yeah, they really did. If you're going to go for it, go for it.
They hint at it, and then the directors say, oh, yeah, that character's gay. Well, you know, just like on that Beauty and the Beast movie about a year ago, you know, we got a gay character on there.
Character gay.
We have a gay character on here. Oh, he dances with a man for a second.
A lot of people hate that reboot. You know, for what it was, I didn't mind it.
I liked the hell out of it. Like, to me,
it was a good-looking movie.
All you had to do was get Gaston right, and that made me happy.
Yeah, Gaston was done really well.
Yeah, like, he's my favorite Disney villain. If you fuck him up, I'm pissed off. But if you get him right, all right, good on you. You know, all I needed was that dude to be a good fucking full of himself asshole, and we got that.
Yeah, they got the perfect actor for it.
Yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, to me, she's one of the only interesting characters, and maybe it's because like she's there just to be random, just to say weird shit.
But here's the thing, though. I don't really think she is more interesting than the rest. I really think just her design and her quirkier style kind of makes us feel like she's a better character.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Here's the perfect
example. She is the Boba Fett of this movie.
There you go. Because she is the only one that isn't bland, but at the same time, she's, you know, there's a
blandness in being the quirky one.
Yeah, there's a blandness in being the weird, I'm here to say weird shit and look weird. And to me, I'm normally
very mixed feelings about this character.
Huh?
Just very mixed feelings about this character.
Yeah.
Sorry that I cut you off again.
Because to me, it's about... I think I just like weird characters being there to say weird shit anyway. So I like the character... But at the same time, I'm like, do I like this character because there is a personality here? Or do I like this character, or am I being fooled, like you just said, because she's the one that dressed weird while the other ones are just boring cutouts of crap you've seen before. And while at the same time... she's a boring cutout that we've seen before, but she's the one I gravitate to because she's the one saying the weird shit, saying the funny shit, making the odd moves, you know, I don't know, know. We'll get more into her character based on some of the shit she does when we get to it.
She's the one you want to like, where I realize that the one I ultimately end up liking is Leslie Jones's character, because although she has her moments of being loud and screamy like the trailers made her out to be, I got more laughs out of her lines than anybody else. Because there were times where she felt like, real.
She did have
reactions to stuff felt like I would do that. I would say that too.
She did have a really good line coming up that I did laugh at. Yeah, she did have a good line.
There's just not enough of her in the movie.
And most of her in the movie is
appreciated.
Yeah, most of her in the movie is, I'm a black lady, so I'm gonna say black lady things, stereotypical black lady things, because
you get a car, and you get a car.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a race thing or a black or a woman thing
or a lady thing.
I'm mad as hell.
That's the trailer line.
Some of the shit she says.
She does have one good line when they go to the rock show, which even when I saw it in the theater and I was just hating my life, it made me giggle.
Wow, you saw this in the theater?
Oh, yeah. Had to have.
You are a fucking ranger, man. You're a fucking hardcore individual.
I see dumb shit in the theaters all the time. I just saw Slender Man fucking on Monday.
Man, I wanted that movie to be good so bad, but
it was destined not to be. It was a movie nobody asked for, nobody wanted.
Man, nobody's gonna be as good as Marble Hornets, but damn, Slender Man.
All the Slender Man stuff has aged. It's just not as cool as it was back in 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking weird to me. Time flew. Because I can remember that time in my life like it was yesterday. But, now nobody fucking cares about Slender Man. It's been done to death.
I know. It's that Five Nights at Freddy's syndrome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we meet these two characters. And they talk about this history they had. They're clearly not friends anymore.
Yeah.
And they're working on research for ghosts. And one thing that annoyed me so much in this scene is we got an EVP. Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. The worst. Quite possibly, in a movie full of bad jokes, possibly the worst one.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Because number one, I'm a big fan of the paranormal, and EVP EVP is one of the creepiest fucking phenomena that I could ever hear.
It could be very creepy. Listen, I could be skeptical sometimes.
I could too, but if I'm into the fucking...
Exist, but it's all this paranormal stuff is a fascinating concept, though. So I could see how EVP could be creepy. I remember when the first Paranormal Activity movie came out, when I was younger, the EVP scene was one of the few things that, gave me chills.
Yeah, and even the White Noise movie with, was that Michael Keaton in that?
I know of it, but I never seen it, so I don't know.
That movie creeped me out, man. EVP creeps me the fuck out because, could it be a fucking voice? It really does sound like a voice saying some shit in a quiet-ass room. It's one of those things, man, that to me it's one of the things that creeps me out the most when it comes to a lot of paranormal stuff. And
yeah,
so...
what makes it so scary is instead of loud noises, it's something quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet, and it's not... It
almost
sounds like
non-threatening.
Exactly. It'll be like...
But in that, it is kind of threatening because you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because it'll be like this, right? Get out. Yeah, it's like, fuck that.
Yeah, you gotta listen real close.
Yeah, dude, and
And I know, like, on Ghost Hunters, like, they obviously, like, faked some of that shit.
Yeah, they play it up on there, man, but fucking A, dude. Especially when you get to shit, if you watch more, to me, I call them real ghost story TV shows, like Paranormal Witness, and not crap like Ghost
Paranormal
Hunters.
Witness could, I think that's the show I'm thinking about. I've seen a couple of paranormal shows. Some of them, like, all of them are fascinating to me, but none of them seem real.
Yeah, to me, I just want to hear the story. You know?
Yeah, sometimes we just want a spooky story.
I want a story with some reenactments. That's all I want. Spoken by the people who claimed they witnessed it. That's all I want. Something that emulates the ghost episodes of Unsolved Mysteries. That's the kind of ghost shit I like to see on TV. And Paranormal Witness did that well. But back to this horrible joke. She's like, we got EVP. All right, well, let's listen to it. And she puts her ear up there, and you get a fart. You get a
Not
fart.
Not just a fart, Travis.
Oh, we'll get to that.
A front fart, if you will, a queef.
We will get to that. Get a fart. And I'm like, at first, the first time I saw it, I'm like, okay, so is this like a ghost fart EVP? But no, they clearly say, oh, good joke, we never got anyone to get so close to the speakers before. And then she's like, should I tell them it was from the front? Like, I don't give a shit where
she said in a very, which is weird, because it's one of the few Egon-esque line deliveries, and she's talking about farting out of her puss. He says, very sternly, is it more disgusting if I told you it came from the front?
Which, not gonna lie, I like that character said that.
I guess the way it was worded could have been worse.
Yeah, it's just,
I don't know. When I saw it in the theater, I was like, you fuck, what?
Yeah, like, I don't give a shit where the fart came from. It had to be a fart. We're barely 20 minutes in the movie and we get a fart joke.
Raising the bar.
Yeah, I mean, this is Ghostbusters, y'all. A family picture.
A family picture.
Yeah. So,
there you go, Doug. We stole a joke back.
Yeah, fuck you, Doug.
Bitch.
And so I don't give a shit that it was a queef. I'm just upset that we got a fart joke barely
because this is a movie
20 minutes in.
This is a movie that's ultimately advertised for kids. It's a
ultimately
movie, and there is a pussy fart joke.
Yeah. So we get that from the front hole. And
fresh from the front hole.
Yeah, fresh from the front hole. So, what happens next? They hear
of the Aldridge Mansion thing.
There it is, the Aldridge Mansion. The crap from the very beginning of the movie. And what I don't understand, or this shows you, in many ways, Kristen Wiig's character is not only awkward and quirky, but she's also pathetic.
Very pathetic.
And it shows you this.
I mean, it is because she's basically filling in the Venkman role.
But in a very...
So I guess there has to be a pathetic side, but it's like...
It is more pathetic, and... See, Venkman had that asshole patheticness. Like, there's no asshole character.
He was pathetic, but he didn't realize he was pathetic.
Exactly. And she's just quirky, awkward, and pathetic, and kind of knew it.
She's a worm, bro.
Huh?
She's a worm.
So the first sign of her being pathetic is the fact that she came here pissed off because she's worried about her fucking tenure. She's worried about her fucking job, her livelihood, and it's on the line. While
Which I guess this is supposed to make us like her because she's thinking about the big picture as she knows it.
exactly,
You know what I mean?
yeah, and so she doesn't want to be friends again. But once the Aldrich Mansion thing happens and Holtzman
she gets kind of dragged along to it.
Well, she wanted to get dragged along because when McCarthy says, let's go, she's like, all right. She's like, no, you're not invited. I need you to get out of here so we can shut the door and lock it. I kind of liked that moment, but it showed that, oh, she wanted to be friends again, while the others are like, we're not worried about you. We're doing our fucking job. You got to get out of here because you might steal some shit. You got to lock our door. We live in New York of all places. So that kind of shows a bit of patheticness that she would jump to the occasion to hang out with a former friend that technically kind of screwed you over.
Yeah. But here she comes crawling back.
Yeah. So now, boom, we get to. They go out there.
Mansion from the beginning of the movie. So it's essentially the library.
Pretty much. They go out there and they see Gabe across the street. He's not having this shit.
And they're just like, whatever his name is. Like, what was his name? Mr. Something or other? Oh, well, Mr. Something or other has been dead for 15 years.
Oh, no, yes, he's been dead. Then he walks up and it's like, oh, this is his son, Ed Jr. Oh, what a way to kind of like ruin
And like Red Letter Media pointed out, that in editing, like, that could have been delivered well.
Yeah.
With dramatic pauses and stuff like that, with good comedic timing. But again, we go back to that ramble humor. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Dead for 15 years.
And oh, here's Ed Jr., his son. This is the guy that you actually saw.
Yeah, and he pooped his pants. Ain't that funny?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he saw this. He was scared. He pooped his pants. I didn't poop my pants. Oh, but when you called me, you said you pooped your pants. Like, oh my god, you're so
He told me that his underwear was toast.
Oh my god, so horrible.
How did we get here, Travis? That's my question, because I have the two DVDs right in front of me. I have the original 1984 Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters Answer the Call. And it's just such a fall from grace. It's jarring almost. I was watching Doug Walker and Rob do their fucking real thoughts on Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
And they say, and I don't want to say that I agree with them because recent events, but they do make a good point here where it's like Ghostbusters 2 kind of had something to do with this fall from grace, where it became more of a goofy thing and not taken as seriously.
But at least Ghostbusters 2 still knew what it was doing. Still knew how to.
Yes, they still had a vision in mind of what the movie could be. You know what I mean?
They still slightly had the passion there. It didn't feel like a cash cow. And what blows my mind is the fact that this is only the third movie when normally franchises gradually get shittier. This is you're on top of the Empire State Building and you walk down a step. That's part 2. Then you jump off the fucking building and land on the ground. That's part 3. That's how bad this shit gets.
It's because the first movie, I've seen it enough times now, ad nauseum, if you will, that when you really look at it, Ghostbusters is a weird fucking movie that shouldn't have worked.
Exactly, and it's not
There's
even...
a lot of weird shit in that first movie where it's just like that chocolate bar scene that nobody seems to mention, where all of a sudden Peter Venkman pulls out a chocolate bar and gives it to Egon like, you've earned this. And Dan Aykroyd gives a little smile. There's no point to that scene, but for some reason you get these talented actors together, create these interesting characters. They can pretty much do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
it's like Ghostbusters 2, like you said, it's a step down, but once you lower that bar, it can only go down further with such a concept.
Yeah, and part 2 isn't even that bad of a movie.
It's not, I mean, it is, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is, but it has entertainment value at least. This
like
movie
we
is
said,
not, this new movie is a slog to get through.
Yeah, it's like we said, at least the second one, you could tell that there was a bit of passion left. This one, it's just there to fucking make a point and beat you in the head with it. So, what happens next is they go into the building. And this is a moment. This is a string of things that annoys me in this movie. Is the amount of product placement.
Yes.
You can tell who helped pay for this movie based on whose logo or product shows up. And the first real annoying bit of that is, boom, they see the ghost, alright? The ghost comes out. They're all tripping.
Well, first they have the Sony Handycam.
Yeah, they're using the Sony Handycam. They gotta use Sony because it's a Sony movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they gotta use Sony. So no problem there, technically. But the ghost shows up and they're like, oh my god, it's the ghost, we're freaking out. And Haltzman, out of nowhere, where did she pull this fucking full can of Pringles out? She has this...
Yeah, in the commentary, going back to the Plinkett review, he shows a clip from the commentary where they say Pringles, was not a sponsor, that it wasn't meant to be product placement. But he makes a very good point where it's like, you can't just have a Pringles logo in your movie.
Yeah.
So obviously someone's paying for that.
I mean, and then just out of nowhere, I don't get I get that, okay, she's such a weird, oddball character that a ghost isn't fading her, so
she pulls this tube of Pringles out of her ass.
Exactly. Where did these Pringles come from? Where?
She could have had it in that little leather jacket of hers.
She had it in the front hole that made the EVP fart. That's what we heard.
Macheted the Pringles out of her fucking vagina. Like the cell phone in the vagina and machete?
Yeah. She had a snook up her sniz.
Here he goes. The movie is making my fucking cancer act up again.
She eats these Pringles. I get the idea behind the joke, that she's an oddball character, that she's just doing some nonchalant shit while she sees a ghost for the very first time in her life.
The ghost looks like absolute fucking fecal matter.
I like the designs of the ghosts. I like the colors. But
see, I don't like the designs could be cool. Later at the end of the movie, you have the circus ghosts and stuff like that.
But
the colors is what ruined it because they're too typical ghost looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my problem is that they're just too CGI. They don't look like they're there. They look like... I don't mind them looking like Scooby-Doo ghosts because I like that style.
And there's no fascinating designs. In the original movie, again, going back, I know, I'm one of those people, I guess. But in the original movie, I noticed, when the fucking city is being overrun by ghosts, there's pretty unique ghost designs. Like, the thing that comes out of the subway kind of has, like, Cthulhu fucking tentacles on its mouth.
Yeah.
And shit.
And the ghosts in the original movies are actually fucking scary looking.
The zombie fucking taxi driver.
Yeah. They actually look like something from a horror movie. Like a fucking Romero horror movie. Or a Tom Savini type of design.
Lucio Fulci.
Exactly. They look like legit horror movie ghosts. Whereas this, like I just said, I like Scooby-Doo style ghosts. But
I guess it fits this movie because the whole movie is so generic and bland. Of course, the ghosts need to be generic and bland.
Exactly.
It's just bubblegum fucking ghosts. That's what it is.
There you
this whole
go.
movie is just bubblegum pop.
Bubblegum ghosts. And so that annoys me. So part of me is like, okay, the ghosts look cool, but they don't faze me. It's like I've seen this in Scooby-Doo. And they look better in Scooby-Doo.
And Scooby-Doo, they're not even ghosts.
Exactly.
They're people.
They're fucking...
That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of like the lore that Ghostbusters sets up. That's like, when you become a ghost, I guess you could be humanoid at times, but there's a monster factor to it.
Yeah.
Like, the librarian could fucking just become that nightmarish-looking thing.
Yeah. And...
Oh my god, that just reminded me of something in Max Landis's Ghostbusters 3 treatment, where he gives us the origin of Slimer.
Oh, shit.
And
That's
it's
something we
kind of
don't
weird
need.
that who Slimer was before. He pretty much makes it that, because he goes back to the fucking Shandor mythos. You know, like, Ivo Shandor from the first movie who built the hotel and was like a Gozer worshiper. That he explained that the person who becomes Slimer was part of his cult. And I guess kind of like realized what was wrong about it and was killed. Does that sound like what Slimer, like, does that sound like Slimer to you?
Like, to me, I don't need an origin for Slimer. You know, I just need a green ghost that is into debauchery. You know, I just need a green ghost that likes debauchery.
Like we mentioned before, we already know Slimer's origin. He was John Belushi.
So, what happens next? They,
Well, she gets fucking slimed all over, and it's a ha-ha gross-out scene.
Yeah, it's a...
That stuff went everywhere, in every crack.
Oh, God, yeah, this... She's... Oh, what a beautiful ghost. I've never seen a ghost before. Wow, this is beautiful. Yeah. And that's like the longest ghost puke scene ever.
Cut to fucking funny reaction shots.
Yeah, cut to like, oh wow.
That's nasty.
Oh, you're dirty. And so then it cuts to, oh, we gotta chase the ghost outside, and they do. And
this brings me to another point. I'm sorry I keep cutting you off, man, but I'll let you get back to what you were saying. But the ghost gets out, they have it on film, and it goes into another part that I hate about this movie. Everybody fucking screams.
Yeah, they're all just,
We found a fucking ghost! Oh my god! Let's scream into the camera.
It's a ghost! Oh my god, we did it! Oh my god, it's a ghost! And
you guys are really great scientists.
Like, it, at the same time, it's an annoying scene, but it's also one of the few scenes that actually made me laugh. Is when she's screaming into the camera, oh my god, ghosts are real, and then boom, it's a YouTube video. She's sitting there with her boss, and he's like, yeah, so-and-so found this on Reddit. And, you know, I'm like, okay, that was a pretty good cut. That was, the editing, the way that shit played out, I actually thought, okay, that was kind of cool. That was funny. You had me laugh there.
I guess, yeah, the editing of that scene was good.
Yeah, because, like, you don't expect it to cut to her straight up getting fired, you know. you think it's just going to be...
But you kind of do in a way, because where else is this story going to go?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you knew she'd leave her job.
It's not a carbon copy of the original, but it uses the blueprints.
Yeah, there's some of the same beats are definitely there. So she gets fired, and now in the extended cut, alright, in the theatrical cut, as soon as she gets fired, she goes straight to to Melissa McCarthy's place, right?
I think so.
Well, in the extended version, is painful. She gets fired, just like normal, but now she's walking down the hallway with a box and all her crap. The same I got fired and I cleaned out my desk scene you see in every movie.
Isn't she, like, talking to everybody she passes by?
Yeah, she's talking to everybody like, oh, no, I'm not fired. I'm just moving things from my desk. I'm not fired. I just need to clean my plant. And then she sees her boyfriend guy. The guy that was all infatuated with her earlier in the extended version of this movie. And
you probably forgot he was even there.
Yeah, and he's ignoring her. Straight up ignoring her. And she's trying to get affection from him now. Whereas she was showing no affection at the beginning of the movie. And so she wants to get mad that, he's ignoring me. Well, bitch, yo ass sort of ignored him at the beginning. Payback's a bitch. And so that's when it cuts to her going up there to McCarthy and all them and shit. So that's another little painful, dragging scene with just obvious ad-lib dialogue like, I believe you guys are so funny.
Why even release an extended edition?
I know, dude. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
But crap.
2 hours and 15 minutes, dude.
Too long.
Yeah. Way too. When the theatrical version felt long, this...
And that's the thing. When you think about Ghostbusters, I guess because so much happens in the original Ghostbusters, it feels longer than it actually is, just because you're taking on a fucking ride. From their humble beginnings to them saving the day. But this movie feels like fucking 3 hours because it's just almost 99.9% bad dragging humor.
Yeah. It's you feel the length, man. You feel the fucking length.
Because you don't want to be here. It seems like nobody on the set wants to be there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they do. Apparently they had fun making this movie. Good for them.
Yeah, they thought they were making something good.
But they were trying way too hard.
Yeah.
This is fucking like school drama class level of trying.
And we've barely scraped the surface, dude.
I have this movie playing as background, like, not background noise, but like background visuals. I turn to it and I'm just like, it's only fueling the fire, but like right now I'm at the fucking possession scene and we haven't even gotten to that. We're not even near there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we are barely 30 minutes into the movie.
Every scene is so bad that we need to stop and fucking analyze it.
Yeah. So what happens next? She goes there, tells him she got fired. Is this the moment? Oh my! What is happening now?
Is this the part where fucking Kate McKinnon dances while inventing shit?
Yeah. You know what? That's the
thing. So much stupid shit happens in this movie that gets in the way of the plot, where it's like, I totally believe that's what's next.
Yeah, see, that's what I was about to ask. Is that the next scene here? Or did this happen after they got their place?
Or did that scene happen after... They end up moving into the fucking Chinese shop.
Yeah.
And look at the fuck... Alright, so they decide to start their own business, I guess.
Well, what happens is they go to ask their dean at their college for money, and he's just a dick for no reason.
Oh, yeah, he's the middle finger guy.
Yeah, the middle finger guy, like, just...
all old jokes you've seen from, like, your fucking parents.
Yeah, middle finger jokes that we were all doing. Now, the only one that did make me laugh, the only middle finger gag that did make me laugh is, we've all done the balloon one. But when he has his hand flop around and he's making the deflating balloon sound and then he stops and he's like, caught it. That made me chuckle a little bit. I was like, okay, I haven't seen that one before.
Well, that's that comedian's bit, apparently. I'm really referring back to the fucking Mr. Plinkett review. Do not call me a hack. But he just, like, his reviews are just so informative, not just, like the jokes are funny, but, like, there's so much shit you don't know about that he just brings to the surface. Yeah. So apparently that dude was a comedian from the 80s, and that was his bit. And I can't imagine why he didn't end up anywhere. Because he's doing the exact, like, he's doing a bit anyone could do.
Yeah. And so I have never heard of that guy before.
What was this? Oh, look, it's a bird. And then he fucking tilts the fucking middle finger towards the door. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that was some painful shit. And
it's fucking childish.
Yeah, and they keep sitting there, taking it. They keep sitting there taking it. Like, really? You're allowing this guy to degrade you.
That's what this movie is, bro. You're just sitting there and taking it. It's a rape of a movie.
Jesus Christ. So,
Too darn.
But the dancing scene, all right?
Too much dancing.
Well, out of the 4 or 5 dancing scenes in this movie, this one kind of had me chuckling too, because number one, it's kind of letting you know how weird and unsafe this lady is. And I kind of enjoy...
She has like 2 fucking flaming things.
Yeah, she's got these 2 fucking torches.
Yeah.
And she set something on fire, and she's not paying it. She's infatuated with Kristen Wiig, and she's just dancing to this nice little 80s song and shit.
I guess she's trying to seduce Kristen Wiig?
In a weird fucking way. And so
I don't understand you, Holtzman.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't understand you, but I could fucking hang out with you, man. I could drink some fucking beer.
I guess I could, but I kind of see her, like, on, like, some fucking documentary, like, Inside the Mind of, what the fuck was her name? Her first name starts with, like, a J, I believe. Her last name is Holtzman. Like, Inside the Mind of Holtzman. Like, she's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah. And
not in, like, the realistic Egon way. It's like,
in a very cartoon way.
Yeah.
And, that...
Which makes it less funny, because it's by the numbers.
It's interestingly odd to have
but
all
again,
these...
you could be being fooled by fucking Kate McKinnon's charm and character design.
That could be that, definitely. I've never seen her in anything else before.
She's an SNL alumni.
See, I have not watched SNL probably since, like, 2001, dude.
She is most famous for doing Hillary Clinton on that show.
Oh, yeah?
And she does play a pretty good Hillary Clinton. There's been a lot of Hillary Clintons on SNL throughout the years. In fact, I believe Lindsay Ellis did a loose cannon episode on the Hillary Clintons in film and TV. And she goes over all the SNL fucking Hillary Clintons.
Oh, yeah?
And I could see why she kind of likes Kate McKinnon's the best, because it takes shots at Hillary Clinton while also, I guess it's a fair interpretation of Hillary Clinton, I guess. It takes the good and the bad and rolls with it, I guess.
Yeah. So that's a little scene that made me chuckle. And just the fact that she's like, oh yeah, this thing's on fire, but I'm still gonna dance while I'm grabbing this fire extinguisher, and that's because she knows her workplace. She knows her workstation, so she can be a little slow to put out a fire. But, yeah, so what else happens now? They get fired, and yeah, technically they stole all that gear. They get kicked out of the school, and it's like, oh
so
yeah.
What message is that sending? You know,
exactly.
What message is that sending that you stole the gear and used it for your success?
Exactly, and you clearly got busted. The man who owned the gear saw you, but he didn't call the police. And you were able to, and I do sort of like this gag. They're like, well, we gotta find a place, and they go to the original firehouse, and they're like, oh my god, this place is so awesome. Ooh. And Kristen Wiig is like, talking to the lady, and she's like, oh, it's $12,000 a month, and she's like, fuck you.
Yeah, burning hell.
Yeah, and
that was a kind of funny gag.
Yeah, and it's like, no, we need something else. So, well, okay, boom. But
it's pretty much a less funny version of the "you gotta try this pole" scene.
Yeah, and so.
Oh yeah, and that's Katie Dippold's fucking cameo right there.
Oh, that's her. Okay.
Yeah.
So, to me, there are many ways this scene works, and many ways this scene is ruined. With, yeah, the gag is funny that it's the original firehouse, but no, we cannot pay for this. That part is funny. But then they ruin it.
It's weird because it's a reboot. It's not in canon with the other movies, but the landmarks of the previous movies exist in this universe.
Yeah, it is pretty odd. So they ruined the joke.
It's like, why even have it at all if you're not gonna really use it until the sequel that's never gonna happen?
Yeah. So they ruined the joke by going to, now we're on top of the Chinese place that delivers one fucking wonton.
I do kind of dig that, though. I do kind of dig that they're working on top of a Chinese restaurant.
I do like that, but
there's something kind of humbling and,
it's just that running joke.
New Yorkie about it.
The running joke of the one wonton garbage is what ruins it for me. It's like, we're back to this again.
That's probably the reason why the screenwriters had them there. It's like, so we could keep the wonton jokes a-rolling.
Yeah. And now they can destroy his bike, and... So they get their place. And I believe it's at this point we should talk about... was it Leslie Jones' character? We haven't brought her
Patty,
up yet.
Yes.
We see her
working. She works in the subway.
Yeah, she's in that booth in the subway, and you know what? When creepy dude comes up,
this is where we also meet the villain.
Yeah, I am just thinking of Money Train, where old buddy is like going up to the little booth people in the subway and like squirting gas in there and fucking setting them on fire. It's like, that's what I'm thinking this guy's about to do to Leslie Jones.
Yeah, he's very fucking... What's the word I'm looking for? Not sketchy, but he's very... how do I say this without making it, like, too offensive for some viewers?
Cartoonishly...
He seems like the kid in high school that you see and you're like, oh my god, he's going to shoot up the fucking school.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of guy this is. And he says some shit about, when the fourth cataclysm happens, people like
just
you...
obviously the villain.
Yeah. They should just fucking... He should be twirling his mustache at this point.
That kind of character could have been well done. Because it is kind of realistic that a loner, sadistic kind of social outcast would probably want to do this.
Yeah.
If given that power.
But they don't make him menacing. They make him cartoony.
And they just don't give him enough screen time. He just... Or
Yeah.
he just appears.
Every time he shows up, he says the exact same thing.
Yeah, and
Charge
there is
the
a funny
lines.
line from Leslie Jones where she's like, you know, all right, I'll see you later with your fucking creepy ass self or something like that.
Yeah. And so she sees him walking down the tracks. What the hell? You can't go out there. So
Yeah, just not shutting up again because the scene can't be silent and set up atmosphere.
So she's walking out there, you know, saying some things, saying sassy black lady things. And you see another one of these little charger electro thingies, and a ghost pops out. And
doesn't the creepy dude see it?
Yeah, the creepy dude sees it. He's like, wow, this is a thing I do.
And she, of course, screams her way out of the scene, because that's what we do in this movie.
Yeah, oh my god, it's a thing, and I've never seen it before.
She yells, forget this. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, forget this, when in real life, a sassy black lady in the New York subway system seeing a ghost, it's gonna be a lot more shit said than forget this.
Or just nothing said at all. I'm sorry, if you see a ghost, like, you're not even forming words. You're just screaming and getting the fuck out of there.
You're running for your fucking life.
I'm sorry, if a ghost appeared to me right now, I could say, like, oh, I'd say this, or it would be funny to say that, but I'm just like, I'm gone.
Yeah, like, I'm fucking out of here. Seriously.
But she goes to the Ghostbusters. Like, is this where Kevin gets introduced?
Yes, Kevin shows up right before her. So, let me roll a sig for this one. Kevin,
well,
you said you had a book.
Let me tell you about Kevin.
Kevin.
I can find the notes.
Kevin has one funny line that I thought was funny, but it would have been better in another movie.
What was the line?
That a aquarium is a submarine for fish. Which, when you think about it, that is a really smart joke for, like, a stoner in a stoner movie. You know, not some overly stupid, borderline retarded guy.
Well, that's the thing. It's not even retarded. It's just... Kevin is such a conundrum of a character.
It is mind-blowing.
I'm not convinced he's human.
Yeah, it is mind-blowing. The amount of stupid...
My question to the creators of this movie is, why does he exist, and what psychological issues mixed with drugs does it take to create such a creature? Melissa McCarthy was right. This really is cerebral.
So, you know, give me your notes on this character before I talk about him.
Those were my notes.
Oh, yeah?
What psychological issues does it take to make this being?
It blows my mind how overly stupid this character is written.
And it's just such an odd kind of stupid where it's just like, you know, it's, like I said, it's not human.
That interview scene is so painful.
God.
One of the most painful scenes in the movie belongs to this interview. And the
script to this movie was non-existent.
Can I bring my cat? Well, I'm allergic to cats. No, it's my dog. What? Your dog? Yeah, his name is my cat. Your dog's name my cat? No, it's my cat.
His name is my cat.
Oh my god, I hate it so much. Oh, I hate it so much.
And then they show the different logos, and there's the ghost with the tits.
Yeah, the ghost with the tits. Oh, what's wrong with it? Oh, well, you know, yeah, well, how about this logo? And boom, product placement. 7-Eleven.
I think that's been done before.
7-Eleven. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking kidding me, man? Oh my god. awful, awful fucking scene. And the glasses. The glasses. Let me ask you.
With no lens.
Yeah, why don't you have lenses in your glasses? Well, they get dirty, so without my lenses, they won't get dirty. Okay. Right. Wow. Well, there's just so many questions. How is this man alive?
Yeah, how does he eat food?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Seriously.
Without choking.
Yeah, how many times did he take a sip of coffee and spit it out and be like, oh man, I hate coffee? Really? Fuck.
He's definitely a man who forgets to swallow.
Carl from Sling Blade should have a PhD compared to this motherfucker.
Beavis and Butthead seem like fucking college professors.
Seriously.
Compared to this dude. He's the Jar Jar Binks of the movie, but I laughed more at Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, God. He is the Jar Jar of the Ghostbusters. Where
is the connection here, okay? Everyone kind of fits the same roles somewhat. Kristen Wiig is the Bankman, kinda, not really, but essentially the role she's trying to fill. Melissa McCarthy's Ray, fucking Holtzman is Egon, and Patty is fucking Winston. But so the male equivalent of Janine is inhumanly mentally handicapped.
Yeah, that is just
like, what the fuck is that? Janine was
where do you
sassy,
yeah,
fucking. It's only there. I mean, it's not only there, but like, it's because he's the male character.
That is what it feels like.
If you haven't noticed, all the men in this movie are assholes.
Their assholes are really stupid or don't listen.
Really stupid, skeptic assholes.
That is true.
And we all know it's done intentionally. And that's what makes me think that's like, for a movie that is trying to gain the trust of feminists, it really doesn't understand what feminism is.
Yeah, it's saying men are dumb, girls rule.
It's exactly like, it's reverse fucking sexism, if you will. Which I'm not being a maninist or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could really give a shit. I could really give a shit if there's an all-female Ghostbusters movie, if it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, go for it. But they really tried to fucking nail this point in.
And, man, do they fucking nail it in to death.
The way they defeat the villain, like, says it all.
Oh, you ain't lying. God, Jesus. Oh. So...
It's trying to look progressive, but it's just moving steps backwards.
It has that 8-year-old... There's an 8-year-old vibe to most of this.
It's very childish.
Yeah.
And that's the humor, too.
Yep. So, what happens next? They hire him. Well, also, Kristen Wiig wants to fuck him. She's odd, she's awkward, she's nervous, she's pathetic, and she wants to fuck the retard because he's hot, which, no problem there. In other movies, you have goofy guys that want to fuck the hot chick. So that to me is funny. That she just wants to bang this fucking dude. But her friends are like, wow, really? He's a fucking idiot. He's a retard, But she's like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, of course they didn't say that.
Yeah, exactly.
People in this movie would be crucified if they said
but they imply it. Like, really? You want to hit that?
Yeah, exactly. They pretty much, like you said, they imply it. They do it, but they don't say it.
Yeah. And so I like that aspect that the chick wants to fuck the dude because he's hot. I like that aspect. So they hire him when in any real movie,
Dude, he'd be out the door by sentence number 1.
Exactly. You're not going to hire a receptionist who does not know how to answer a phone.
He's a receptionist that can't recept anything.
Yeah, seriously. Like, is that the joke? Is that the joke? That he is a receptionist that can't recept anything? I mean, wow.
He bangs a gong and covers his eyes.
Yeah, when they say, don't listen to us, he covers his eyes. Just wow. Fucking wow. I have never seen a character that stupid in
Chris Hemsworth, man.
the history of film.
Which seems like it's weird that they, out of all the actors they could choose to be in a Ghostbusters movie, they hired Chris Hemsworth.
Well, they wanted a hot dude who was also hot in movies that people knew.
It seems so, like, unreal, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Janine felt like a real receptionist.
Yeah. So we get Thor.
We get fucking Thor
We get George Kirk.
pre-Ragnarok, so fucking Chris Hemsworth's comedy chops aren't as fine-tuned.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, this movie had no script, so they're really just banking on the ad-libs.
They really are. It's like they hit the camera and said, go.
They thought, hey, it works on Curb Your Enthusiasm, so why don't we do it here?
So what happens after they hire him? They go to, I guess,
Is
this is when...
the Ozzy part?
No,
Well,
because
don't they do the phone gag where it's just like, you know, which one of my headshots look better? Oh, what's the name of this place? And they give it some big fucking name. But he's like, Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Yeah, that is ahead of where we're at. Right now, it's Leslie shows up and tells them about the ghost she saw. And here's a big another annoying problem I have. Is when they go to the subway. All right.
And the logo.
Yes. All right. They.
Hey, guys. Hey, fuckheads in the audience. Do you know that's our logo?
Exactly. When.
Just thought I'd spell it out for you, dumb shits.
Not only do we get another one of those, don't do that, I'm doing it. Don't do that, I'm doing it. Don't do that, I'm doing it. I did it, you did it joke. We have the Banksy wannabe, the fucking, oh, I'm spray painting. Don't spray paint that wall. Spray paint the wall. Don't spray paint that wall. Oh, spray paint it more. Don't spray paint that wall. Oh, spray paint the wall. It is so fucking awful. And then you see, oh, it's the Ghostbusters logo, derp. Well, when they walk away, crazy girl takes a picture.
It would have been a fairly decent gag, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be mind-blowing, but it would have been alright if, alright, that's the logo. Alright, kind of cool. But
all we needed.
Fucking Holtzman.
All we needed.
All it's missing is her looking at the camera and saying,
Ghostbusters. What all this needed was her to just take the picture. That's all we needed.
Yes.
We didn't need her saying,
that looks like a logo.
Am I on crack, or does that look like a great logo? Like,
does she actually say that?
Yeah, she says, am I on crack, or does that look like a great logo? Like, I mean, like, you're only saying that for the audience.
But at the same time, it's like, what a lousy setup.
Exactly.
Like, am I on crack? What, like, is the logo that hard to fucking believe?
Seriously.
It's a ghost in an exit, in a don't go here sign. It's a very fucking simple design that's cool. No, you're... Holtzman.
Yeah, so...
That's an Holtzman moment.
Her taking the picture would have conveyed every bit of knowledge you needed.
It would have been subtle, and it might have actually been funny if walking by, she just fucking whipped out her phone,
took a picture. Exactly. Just out of nowhere. We didn't need
because you know what that means. It leaves something up to your brain.
Yes, you know that's the logo, and you know they're looking for a logo. She takes the picture of said logo that we know. That's all you need.
And it almost builds up excitement because you're like, I know why she did that.
Exactly. But instead, I might be on crack. But does this look like a great logo? Oh my god, I want to strangle him, man.
But
So,
they go into the subway.
Go to the sub, and we get our first kick of, I do like Holtzman's sort of overly cartoony mad scientist. This is some crap that's going to kill you, but I'm going to let you try it anyway. How she's so forward with that.
It could have been good, but there's something that's keeping me from enjoying it. There's a level to it where it's like, I know I'm watching actresses try to be mad scientists.
Yeah.
Whereas Harold Ramis just felt like a mad scientist because he wasn't overtly a mad scientist.
Which is why we could come up with weird shit that man keeps in his basement.
Like I said, they're just so weird they have to be human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because humans are fucking weird.
Yeah, whereas in this, it's all... I like that with the... You know, this thing is going to fucking kill you, but I'm going to let you use it anyway because I want to see what will happen. I like that.
And then it doesn't work and she gives the, wah wah.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's like, alright. That's why I say this is a character that, man, if they'd have spent a little more time on this, that character, man, could have fucking really worked. And in many ways, she kind of does, and in many ways, like you said, it's not pulled off all that well.
Yeah, there's just something about it that's disingenuous, or whatever the word is.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not genuine.
And so they see the ghost. Oh, that's the ghost I saw, y'all. Yes, there it is. And they shoot the thing. And it gets hit by the train. Slime, 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 slime. All on Kristen Wiig again.
In every crack.
Yeah, in every crack. And now here comes a nice, funny Leslie line. Where she's like, oh man, he going to Queens. He gonna be the third scariest thing on that train. That shit.
See, that's alright.
Yeah.
See, that sounds like something someone would say.
That's a funny little line to me. But shit,
and
man.
It fits in the kind of Winston-esque character she's trying to be.
Exactly. I've seen shit that'll turn you white.
Even though she's more overtly street than Winston.
She's a very Comedy Central black person.
Yes.
But let me run to the bathroom.
Not that that's bad, you know what I mean? Because again, she's the one who ended up entertaining me the most.
Yeah. So let me run to the bathroom real quick and we'll get back on this.
I was about to say that actually, so
what happens next?
So we're still before the concert scene.
Yeah, I think this is when...
This is after they caught the fucking subway ghost.
See, they never caught the subway ghost. He was on the back of the train.
Caught it?
Yeah, he was stuck on the back of the train. Because they hadn't built the trap yet.
So they just suck at their job. This is the part where we get the obviously reshoot part where they talk about the YouTube comments.
Oh, yeah.
Which obviously they reshot after the trailer came out. That or they just had to have known the shit they were getting. But here's another part where they're trying to prove a point.
Yeah, ain't no bitches gonna bust or hunt some ghosts.
I'm sure that's a legit comment somebody wrote. And you know what? That
was a funny little line.
Too.
That was a funny little line.
I don't approve of that kind of shit online either, but it's just like, Don't even acknowledge it.
There was something that happened here.
There was the bad coffee gag from Chris Hemsworth that we mentioned.
Yeah, damn, there was something else from the extended cut that they added to this part. That, well, this is when they're eating the food, right? And you're having a little bit of character development.
I thought this was the part where Patty shows up.
Yeah, see, isn't Patty, like, hanging out with them?
She just kind of arrives there, and she's sitting in the fucking, like, corner, just like, oh yeah, like, I've been here.
Oh yeah, like, I'm gonna be part of y'all's club.
Like, I'm just gonna strut in here and be like, listen, I'm part of the team now, because I saw a ghost.
Yeah. Whereas Winston, not being a scientist, joining worked because they were overworked and they needed an extra man. She just kind of lets herself in.
Yeah. And I do know what scene you're talking about, where aren't they like having pizza or something like that, and then Kristen Wiig goes into her backstory.
Yeah.
Of how, like, she saw a ghost when she was a little girl, but no one believed her.
Yeah, a big problem with this is that could have been some really creepy shit if you would have showed it. If you would have probably...
I'll agree to disagree.
How about start the movie with this, with her as a little kid, and you see this ghost every night, and then...
But it has to be creepy. It has to...
Yeah.
I guess it would kind of be out of the tone of the movie, though, if you showed this and made it creepy. Because little girl and figure standing above her bed. That is creepy, yes, and could be good for a horror movie, but not necessarily a Ghostbusters movie.
Definitely, and it could have been a great opener, and then it cuts to her as an adult. That's when she's trying to figure out her speech. The movie should have began with that. We should have not. I
can see that somewhat working.
Yeah, we should not have had the Eldridge Mansion garbage until maybe later on and cut it really short. But that should have been the opening. Cut with her as a young child. She sees the ghosts every night. No one believes her.
Then, after these scenes, I don't know if it's probably before the backstory scene, but Leslie Jones is the way they get the car, because her uncle, who we later find out is Ernie Hudson, works at a funeral home, or works for funeral homes, and can provide a hearse.
Yeah, so you get a hearse.
And we drag on into another scene. Oh, I hope there's not a dead body in the back of the hearse.
Now it's a dragged on scene, but here's another moment that Holtzman and her weirdness had me laugh out loud. When she straight up, when they said, well, what are you going to do with a dead body? And she straight up said, I can think of 7 things I can do with a cadaver today. Like, that had me fucking...
In a better movie, that could have been good.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, God, every joke that lands in this movie for me would have been fantastic in a different movie. And you could have...
And then there's the scene where they test out the equipment and... Whoa, Melissa McCarthy's fucking flying around. It's like wrestling a gator. Ha, ha, ha.
Flying around. It's like wrestling a gator. And, there are moments, there are things I like with her testing out the, with Holtzman, when we see her kind of invent the stuff and put the shit together, it's like, how is she coming up with this crap so fast? But if you put that behind yourself, and like I said, when it's like, here, this thing might fucking blow up in your face, but I want to see you use it. Just straight up telling the motherfuckers that,
But that's the thing, it's almost too risk-taking and too anarchaic, I guess the word is. Like,
but that's what I'm looking for.
She's too fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit. Reckless.
That's what I like, though, is the fact that she's over. That's why I can kind of
She's
see.
kind of like a rebel.
I can kind of see.
World.
This is why she is not in a real scientific field. This is why she is the only person Melissa McCarthy could really get to work with her, because no one else
you're
wants.
making a good point.
Yeah, because no one else wants to work with this off-hinged, maniacal ass lady who is like, I will murder
Melissa
people.
McCarthy.
I will murder people if it benefits my research. And I will.
Holden is the only one we could have a dark backstory for, because if Melissa McCarthy hadn't have found her, she probably would have ended up just like creepy dude villain man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a big reason why I kind of like her character, is because of her disregard for human life.
I guess now you're kind of turning me on her now, because it does reflect the moral ambiguity of what made the other movies so good, is that, you know, they're not the nicest people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for some reason, this movie seems like isn't it weird? Like, there are asshole characters in the original Ghostbusters, and that's kind of like their likable factor, is they're human. While this movie has its moments where it just feels mean-spirited.
Yeah, it's because they turn it all up to 11, like everything.
Exactly.
The stupidity's up to 11, the assholes are up to 11.
And speaking of another male asshole character, this is where the cameos start flowing in.
Oh, God. The cameos. So we get a news show, and they talk to Bill Murray, who is a ghost skeptic, who's like, I don't believe these women. I don't believe these women. And I think
Bill Murray looks like he wants to jump out a fucking window.
And he does. So the concert's happening, and they get the call.
Yes.
And when
this is where the headshot shit happens with fucking.
Yeah, he's like, what does he say? Because it's like, which one makes me look more like a doctor?
And they're both him with saxophones.
Yeah, one he's blowing the sax, and one he's holding the sax, and it's like, that is just
now, they're trying to imply that he is a homosexual.
Huh?
Is this trying to imply that maybe Kevin is a homo? Because you said he's blowing the sax.
Oh, he's blowing the sax.
And the other one, he's holding the sax.
Wow. Wow.
Because there's already overtly homosexual tones with Holtzman. Maybe that's what they're trying to say about Kevin. Who knows?
Maybe.
I wouldn't hold, like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't hold it against this movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about any of that shit. I just wanted it to be funny.
Exactly,
I
and
just
that
wanted
joke
it to be
just
good.
wasn't funny.
I just wanted it to be good. So, they get the call about...
We get this terrible joke that was in the trailer, the let's go gag. Oh, were you going to say that first?
Oh,
I'm sorry. All right, let's just go.
Yeah, that was awful. And
they used that in the trailer. That was the joke they were proud of.
Yeah, so in the extended version, when they run outside to go jump in the hearse, her boyfriend guy shows up, and he's like, wow, look at you, you're hanging out with these people, living above a Chinese restaurant, oh, how far you have fallen. And so she kind of gets her little, fuck you, asshole, I'm a badass moment. And that's the last time you see this man in the entire movie. And so, by cutting his entire character and his scenes out, you're not taking anything away from this movie. So those were completely pointless.
And not to mention, we have a metal concert going on during the day.
Yeah. during the day.
Kind of seems odd. You could have waited to shoot it at night when it seems probably more appropriate.
Yeah. And
especially an Ozzy concert, man.
Now, I can see it being daytime at the beginning of that scene when the guy's walking in.
But it's not even, like, late afternoon, you know what I mean? It seems like broad fucking daylight.
It's like everyone's waiting in line. I can see it being daylight, waiting in line to get your ticket. But, yeah. And I like how weird the guy is, you know, when he's walking into my rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, I like his little weirdness there.
I mean, I like the fact that they incorporated the metal scene into it anyway. You know, I mean, that's a cool idea for a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, I do.
And it's something we haven't really seen before, so...
Yeah, I do like that. You got a little heavy metal stuff in there. So, the Ghostbusters show up. And,
this is where we get the mannequin part, which... here's a good line from Leslie Jones where, even though it's like a reference, it's still kind of funny that she's walking down the halls and she says, like, oh, like, if I see those, like, girls from The Shining or something like that, I'm butchering the joke, but she does a Shining reference and it made me chuckle.
Yeah.
Because it seems like something I would say.
Yeah. And
so I appreciated that.
And so the mannequin comes to life.
And it could be a good gag. You know what I mean? But then they zap it and it explodes into a giant fucking dragon.
Yeah.
Like, straight out of a video game.
It was creepier as a mannequin because there's something creepy about mannequins anyway. And
absolutely.
It even goes back to that old Twilight Zone episode where the entire town is mannequins and
yeah, because it's like they're shaped like us, and also depending on the mannequin, you know what I mean? Some mannequins have like sculpted faces and shit like that, but
so when you get a faceless mannequin,
this movie is faceless and just blank, and stiff,
and so
it's a cool gag that's wasted like too soon because we get the stupid wig gag.
Oh yeah, God, Jesus.
Another trailer moment where I saw that and I was like, oh my God.
Like, you're looking for this fucking ghost. What made you want to put this wig on and sit here and hope that she happens to walk by?
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the Holtzman kind of like, really moments.
That's the haha wacky. That's the Ghostbusters 2 Holtzman.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God.
Another thing I got a gripe about, because this movie was much like most movies nowadays, it was in 3D, and then when they convert it to DVD, they have this dumb fucking effect where when they're shooting the proton streams, you know how you have the widescreen bars on the top and bottom? It goes over
the bars.
It goes over. When the possession scene happens and she's yelling, "The power of Patty compels you," like her head is coming out of the screen.
It is.
And I'm sure on a 3D TV it's fine, but it's like it's unnecessary, man.
It is so weird looking. It is jarring.
And I could see how an effect like that could be cool in other movies because it's like leaping out of the screen. But here it just looks tacky.
Yeah, it looks tacked on.
Yeah, exactly.
It is so odd. It's
jarring. Not just a fault of this movie. I've seen a couple of modern movies now where that has happened, and it takes me out.
Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen this done.
Yeah, this is a big example of it because they do it a lot in this. But I've seen it done a couple of other times. I'm sure if I had a 3D TV, or maybe I intended to watch it in 3D, it could possibly suck me in. But it's like, why in a 2D like printing of it do we still have this effect? I saw it in Dread 3D as well. You know, I mean, the Dread DVD does it too, but it kind of works in that movie since that was always what it was intended to be. That's probably what started it, honestly.
Huh. Dread did
another random Frank tangent.
Dread did have some of the coolest slow motion ever.
Yeah, we got to do a Dread podcast, my guy. We got to do the Sylvester Stallone, and we got to do the Carl Urban version.
We damn sure do. Oh yes, and so
I am the law.
I am the law. I didn't break the law. I am the law. No.
Law.
Oh God, I love that movie.
Rico's my brother.
Oh my God, I knew you'd say that. I knew you'd say that. I knew you'd say that. Oh my God, I love that movie. So now we get the we get the concert, and it's some generic band called Beasts of Mayhem. Like they're
Yeah,
like,
it's obviously a fake band.
yeah, they're
If
such
it's a real band, God have mercy.
they're like that heavy metal band that would come out all of a sudden while there's much more popular heavy metal bands, and they're like the ones that had the dude. They're like the
They're the ones that are trying too hard to be. We're metal.
yeah, they're like they are to like today's metal scene like what Crazy Town was to the new metal scene.
And I know I love this. I mean, of course, we took a break for the bathroom, but I'm looking at the timestamp right now. We've been talking about this is probably going to be the longest podcast. We've talked about this movie for 2 hours and 13 minutes, and we're only in the halfway point.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
We might possibly have to split this into 2 parts.
Oh, this is mind blowing. So,
Record it all in one night, of course, but split it into 2 parts.
So, they're on stage, like, yeah, we're wrestling. I mean, we're summoning a demon, and the effects
You
guy.
know, that part I didn't really mind because one part of it I hate because it kind of makes metalheads look stereotypical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, if I was at a metal concert and a fucking ghost started rising out like a ghost dragon, I'd be throwing up the devil horns anyway.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck yeah. I mean, everybody thought it was an effect. You know, they all thought it was an effect. And then the effect guy's trying to scream, this isn't mine. And
this
then,
is kind of like, what's it called? A scene like this is kind of referenced in the original Ghostbusters when Casey Kasem is doing the countdown. And it's like, oh, you know, the Ghostbusters busted into a concert and gave all the people a great laser light show. So I like how it expanded, like, all right, so what would a scene like this look like?
Yeah, I get that. That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, there are dumb jokes in this scene, but overall, the concept of the sequence is not bad.
Yeah, I don't mind this part at all until...
well, there's the guy screaming like a girl gag. That's kind of stupid.
And then, but you get every rock concert cliche in the book. First,
absolutely. The stage diving, the smashing of the guitar.
Diving. Yes, so you get the stage dive with Melissa. And
when's the last time you saw a concert where someone smashed a guitar?
You ain't lying. Probably when Billy Joe was on drugs and bitched about how he's not fucking Justin Bieber.
You're talking about fucking
Green Day?
Green Day?
You get one fucking minute. I've been around since '84. And it took him like 10 swings to break the guitar. So you get the stage dive that works. Then you get the stage dive that doesn't.
That fails. And I don't know if it was a lady thing or a race thing, but I'm mad as hell. We did it, folks. We've made Ghostbusters 2016. Let's all go home.
Let's all go home, y'all. That is another line for today's world. Race
and that whole
women.
part is awkward. How she's like, all right, don't say anything. I'm just going to walk out. Like, what the fuck is this scene? Like, what is...
Yeah.
It's on her shoulders, so I get she's trying to be scared, but, like,
Calm.
her line delivery, it's just an awkward moment.
While at
and
the
then there's
same
the selfie
time...
stick joke.
While at the same time... She knows the ghost is on her, and they should know that the ghost is on her. But they're constantly trying to get her attention that the ghost is on her, when we clearly see that she knows this ghost is on her. And so they shoot it.
It kind of ruins the whole scene, but they end up catching the ghost. It's not a bad first busting scene.
Not
but it
bad.
happens way too late in the film. You know what I mean?
Way late. This is definitely an Origins style movie. You know what I mean?
And then continue. My bad.
You know what I mean? This is definitely following in lines with the Origins movies that are so popular now, where you're an hour into the movie and something finally happened.
Yeah, and then this is where we get the Ozzy Osbourne cameo.
One of the best jokes.
I love when Ozzy Osbourne appears anywhere.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything with him. They just do, he shouts Sharon's name. That's the normie Ozzy joke.
Yeah.
What does he say? I think I'm having another flashback. That's a funny joke.
And so, when she breaks the guitar and thinks she's a badass, and then I like the line with "Thanks, but I can't buy you a new one" or some shit like that.
What a dickhead!
Yeah, what an asshole!
You just smashed my guitar. I'm in a nothing metal band. You think they just give me this shit? I
Seriously, I have no sponsorship with.
I've had that since I was 12.
There you go. And this lady broke your guitar, bro.
Fuck you.
So they all walk off, but then you cut to Ozzy, looking rather good for his old age on film. And
you know what, man? Ozzy is a fucking trooper.
He is. I
love the shit out of Ozzy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I just love his line.
It's a miracle he's alive.
Yeah, I love his line. "You wank ass, Black Sabbath was doing that shit in '74." And
Does he say that in the movie?
Yeah.
That's an extended scene version then? Because all the theatrical version has is Sharon, I'm having another flashback, and that's it.
Whoa, are you serious?
That's all the theatrical version has of Ozzy.
Oh no! Then the extended version has the best Ozzy gag.
Now I can look that up on YouTube, honestly, but man, have you done a Sabbath fucking retrospective on your podcast yet?
No, man, have not. There's
a lot Sabbath has to offer, but you should do it much like how you want to do Zappa, where you do eras of Sabbath.
Yeah, because
we should definitely do an Ozzy Sabbath fucking episode.
We should.
Because I fucking love Sabbath.
Yeah, I can dig some Sabbath. I don't have a lot of Sabbath, but
definitely get into them, dude, because aside from the hits, they got some really great fucking songs. I highly recommend
that first album is
mind-blowing.
The first album is mind-blowing. Paranoid is awesome. I mean,
Master of Reality.
I'm a big fan of doom metal anyway, and to me, Black Sabbath just sounds like Electric Wizard in the 70s. So it's I like that kind of shit already.
But it also has the attitude of 60s fucking hippie rock.
Exactly. But wow, I hate that the best version of that joke is not in the theatrical version. Wow.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath was doing this shit in 74.
Where Bill Murray, Mr. Skeptic Man, comes in.
Oh God.
And out of spite for this man, out of spite, she releases the ghost.
Yeah. And
Great heroes we have for the modern age. Don't you want to be like them?
I kind of like it, though. It's
it does make sense. I honestly shouldn't have said that. Honestly, what great heroes. Because Ghostbusters are never meant to be great heroes.
Yeah. So, he comes in there. He's like, well, show me the ghost. And they let the ghost out. Pushes Bill Murray out the window.
Yeah, this is a slightly dark moment in an overall safe film. Low-key moments where it's Bill Murray fucking dies.
And please tell me this is in the theatrical cut. But one great fucking line from Holtzman. They're looking out the window. They're like, oh my god, he's dead. And Holtzman says, he wasn't Ghostbusters material anyway.
I don't believe that's in the theatrical version, but I could be just forgetting.
Because that
sounds like an extended edition line.
That line had me laugh pretty hard. I was like, there you go. There you go. And they have Holtzman say it. That makes sense, given her disregard for human life.
Seriously.
Yeah, I was like, that's great. You've got a character here.
I want No Country for Old Men, but with Holtzman.
Yeah, there you go. She's walking around with the cattle prod.
Can you imagine fucking Kate McKinnon in the handcuffs choking the cop?
She's flipping the coin.
Just call it.
Oh,
alright, so
amazing.
yeah, Holtzman's the only one you can make dark theory. It's always the Egon character.
Right. Definitely.
But she doesn't collect spores, molds, and fungus as far as I'm concerned, so fuck her.
Yeah, shit, yeah. So, what happens next?
They go on the Patrick Swayze fucking rambling joke.
Oh.
They're talking to the cop, and they start talking about Patrick Swayze movies.
Yeah, for no fucking reason.
So out of all the things they can cut, there's like you said, there's a good Ozzy moment. There's some not great little scenes, but there's other scenes that could have been in the movie. Why wasn't the Swayze shit cut from the movie? Did they really think it was that funny?
Yeah. And the whole... Oh, you want to say it? Oh, we'll say it next time. Shit like that should have been cut.
And then after that, they meet the mayor. And
that's an awful scene, too.
Another rambling joke. There's so much, non sequiturs in this fucking movie. What's the thing Holtzman says to the fucking mayor's assistant where she starts counting, more shit? You know what I mean?
Oh,
what am I talking about here?
The mayor says, do you know how many federal codes you're breaking? And she's like, 1? No. 2? No. Is it 1?
It's baby shit. And then they do the rant about the cat being out of the bag, and it's like, shut up.
Oh, yeah, that is painful. That's as painful as the interview scene.
It's just too much talk. Yeah, could we get to quote Elvis? I'm sorry, I'm flustered by this movie, but could we get a little less conversation, a little more action, please?
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want this to be a super big action movie because by the end of the movie, Jesus Christ, it's not even Ghostbusters anymore. They might as well be swinging around lightsabers.
That's the fucking truth.
But holy shit, could they shut up?
So the government just tells them not to do anything. That we're going to say it was all a fake. So they do that.
Now, this is interesting, and this is a change that I do not mind. That instead of the media blitz, they're trying to cover it up. There's no real good reason why they want to cover it up, but at least it's different.
Yeah. They just don't want people all of a sudden to believe ghosts are real.
And that's somewhat believable. I could see someone being like, listen, shut up about this.
Because that's the same reason people believe the government won't tell people about UFOs and aliens. Is if you bring out one thing that contradicts everybody's history and way of life, you know.
Mass hysteria.
Exactly. So they have a decent reason to do that. And they use a fairly real life reason as well. Based off of, you know, theories and shit.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
Like, it's so... no, it's so weird that such a nothing movie could fucking, like, be the source material for such a big conversation, you know what I mean? For such a big review that we're doing.
That's the fucking truth.
The big things come in small packages.
Exactly. So what happens next?
Big fucking shits come in small toilets.
So where are we at now?
How many scenes do we have where they go into the alley and test shit? Because right now on the TV, I rewind it again, just for the background imagery and just to keep myself in check. There's the grenade throwing scene.
There's like 3 at most.
And then they also have the ghost shredder thing that pretty much just sucks in a ghost and destroys it.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know about you, but my theory on this is that, like, listen, so ghosts most likely have to be people who have died.
Yeah.
And I don't assume, like, there's an afterlife for the afterlife. So when you suck that ghost in and shred it out, you just took it out of existence.
Pretty much. This is the point where...
You killed it again, and it's just nothing now.
Yeah, this is the point where and this is another thing, if you want to give this film a little more merit, based off of Holtzman's disregard for human life, she's inventing these new contraptions in the vein of, we're not going to capture ghosts anymore, we're going to fucking kill them.
Exactly. She's like, if I can't kill real people, I'm gonna kill what's already dead.
I'm gonna kill these fucking ghosts.
But that's even more maniacal because it's like, I am just gonna erase them from being.
Exactly. No purgatory, no heaven, no hell.
You're fucking dead.
You are gone.
You are what atheists want to believe happens.
Exactly. And so that's an aspect that I do like, but then I do hate the fact why
it's
even...
It's not ghost busting at that point then.
Yeah, it's ghost killing. It's like, you're not putting them in a jail.
You are the ghost face killer.
Yeah, there you go. You're not the ghost police anymore. You're the fucking ghost executioners.
Exactly. You're the fucking... Oh my god. Like, at this point, it's like... Again, for a movie trying to be progressive, you're almost like the ghost KKK at this point.
Wow.
I didn't want to say it, but it's like, that's you're now just hunting these things down to kill.
Ghost genocide.
It's for sport now. You're the ghost predator.
So, she's invented all this stuff that just straight up kills the ghost. It blows them up, gives them a punch. And I like the Swiss Army knife gag.
Yeah.
That's decent. You know, that's some Holtzman shit that worked for me. With
some Holtzman shit.
Yeah, here, try this gun. No, don't try that gun. That gun's definitely gonna kill you. When it's ready, I'm gonna give it to you. That's that. You know, the only reason she didn't let her use that gun is because she wanted to bang her.
Yeah. And then they start making the connection that, like, oh, all these ghost events are in a fucking pattern.
The ley lines, oh god.
It's pretty much a ripoff of The Giant Claw, where it's like, oh, it's a spiral.
And, you know...
I'm talking about that shitty movie, The Giant Claw?
God, I don't even know what that is. Is that the
it's
Bird
a movie that James Rolfe likes to fucking make fun of a lot.
Is that the Bird movie?
Yes, and it travels. There's X's in specific spots that you'd think would just make a line, but they draw it out in a spiral, and they're like, oh, it makes perfect sense.
Wow. So, yeah,
that's
the ley lines.
essentially what they're doing here.
There's a lot of real-life theory to the ley lines and stuff, which, you know, kudos to them for putting something in paranormal theory in the movie. It's not as interesting as the Sumerian shit from the first Ghostbusters movie, but
not at all.
At least they tried. At least they tried, you know. So you have that, and so they go to the hotel, and we get our next cameo with Annie Potts, and she's a badass as ever. You get the "What do you want?"
Which, again, the cameos are decent until you get the fan service lines in there.
Yeah.
So with Annie Potts, you get the "What do you want?" and with fucking Dan Aykroyd, it's the "I ain't afraid of no ghosts," but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And it's like, why even, like, I get it. The cameos, I guess they're trying desperately to appease someone, but it's like, what? Just don't even have them.
Yeah.
Just don't even have them.
Definitely. So, they go to the hotel.
Damage is already done, and throwing Annie Potts in there is not gonna, like, it's not doing anything.
Yeah. So
they go there, and Rowan, the villain's name is Rowan.
Yeah.
He's in there, and he straight up fucking kills himself.
Yeah, he just straight up kills himself. And
which again, in a better, I get the feeling these are all Katie Dippold's contributions to the script, because like I said before, it's rumored that she wanted to go darker, so that's pretty fucking dark.
Yeah, he straight up kills himself so he can become a ghost. And God, what happens next? Like they turn the machine off or something?
Yeah, he has like some fucking doomsday machine connected to the ghost world. These ghosts look like they're in the fucking Phantom Zone from Superman like 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Where they're just sitting there in like these mirror kind of gateway looking things, and they're banging on the glass.
Because what he's been doing at this point is he's been placing these electro thingies to basically draw the ghosts out. And,
like collect energy, I guess.
Yeah. Make them pop out and do things. And so, yeah, he's dead now. He's a ghost. And what happens next? I'm having a hard time.
While they're trying to talk him out of being evil, don't they bring back the wonton joke again?
Oh my God, do they?
Isn't she like, listen, you know, life can be bad and stuff like that. Sometimes people can give you only one wonton.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's like, is this seriously the moment? Like, this guy's about to end his own life.
This is when you bring this up?
He's like, fuck wontons, I want to die.
Wow.
And he shocks himself. He puts his hands on the two things and just... Was this needed?
Yeah.
Again, in a better movie, if they could have made this work in a more adult-oriented Ghostbusters movie. It just seems odd that it's in this movie.
Yeah. So...
the age-old question, what happens next?
Yeah, where are we at now?
And I think that's why this movie is so not memorable, is because each scene is its own microcosm.
Yeah, it's like little vignettes that rarely have a connection.
Though they desperately try to connect.
Yeah, like
And that's what happens when you have no script.
There's another moment when they go back to their place and they're dancing to DMX.
Yes!
Another dancing scene.
God, is that the Y'all Gonna Make Me Lose My Mind Up in Here song?
Yeah.
Which is just, that song, although it is a good song, it's become a cliche in itself.
Yeah.
So many comedies use that, and I don't know why DMX is used in so many comedies.
That is weird.
Yeah, you notice that? Like, Deadpool did X Gon' Give It To You. I guess his music is silly? I don't get it.
So, what happens after the hotel?
Well, there's the possession scene.
Oh, God, yeah, this
Which
was
is... Well, no. They mentioned something about the book, and all of a sudden, Kristen Wiig is in a fucking hotel room looking at the copy of the book that her and fucking Melissa McCarthy wrote.
Oh, yeah, and
he's got these fucking, like, American Psycho-esque drawings in it.
Yeah, all these crazy fucking drawings.
And, yeah, the fourth cataclysm. And then we cut back to the fucking firehouse, and this is where one of the worst sequences in the movie happens.
Is this the possession scene?
I believe so.
Oh.
And it's awful, because the characters are just too dumb. That she's obviously acting weird, obviously not acting like herself. Like, she's possessed, and anyone with half a brain cell would realize it.
Yeah, and you get some of the worst bits of the trailer here when she's slapping her. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark.
The power of Patty compels you.
Oh, and when she slaps her, and she's like, "That's gonna leave a mark." Like that.
They said in a 2018 comedy, that's gonna leave a mark.
Exactly.
I hate that fucking line.
That shit has not been funny in anything I've ever seen. And it goes back. It goes way back. That's a line that's origins are probably hard to trace.
Such a dad joke.
Yeah, dude. Awful. And so, I guess that's when he leaves her, and is this when he possesses Thor?
Yes. He's like, I want to be a Ghostbuster too.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
I miss Janusz.
Yeah, this makes me miss fucking Janusz. Oh my god, and I did not like Janusz.
To quote Janusz, everything you're doing is everything. Fuck, what did he say? He says it to someone in the art museum, like, everything you are doing is wrong.
Yeah.
I want you to know this.
Yeah. And so, what happens now?
So now that he's got hold of Kevin, he unleashes hell as the, what's it called? They made the X on the map. All the connections, it's all connected now.
Yeah.
And he raises all the ghosts.
All the ghosts are running around New York.
And it just looks bad.
Yeah. There's some cool designs here and there, but no, man.
Yeah, there's the dude holding open his fucking, shirt to show his skeleton. There's a Tarantino zoom in. There's a Tarantino-esque shot where the garage door opens and they do the quick zoom in on the Ecto-1 fucking license plate.
Yeah.
And then this is where we get Dan Aykroyd.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
And again, Doug Walker kind of made a good point when he reviewed this movie, where it's like, it is somewhat funny that Dan Aykroyd's character knows that they're like, free roaming vapors. That's a funny line. But then they ruin it by adding in the I ain't afraid of no ghost line.
Yeah.
Because the free roaming vapor line is like good Ghostbusters fan service. It's a line you kind of got to be like, all right, if you know the movie, you get that. But I ain't afraid of no ghost, like referencing the song that everyone knows.
Yeah.
And then Slimer shows up.
And you know what? Slimer is pretty enjoyable in this movie.
Kinda.
As
Later
always.
on when we see him, he's enjoyable. But at first, it's kind of like, he kind of seems out of place in this universe.
That is true. He's really only there because he's familiar.
Yeah,
same reason they brought him back for the
different.
second one. It's the same reason they brought him back for the second one. Same reason he became such a main character in the cartoon.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, could we get a ghost... Even fan films... Could we get a Ghostbusters movie that doesn't have Slimer?
Exactly. Well, we get a girl Slimer this time. That's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny, but it's like, where did... I shouldn't even ask where did she come from, because it doesn't really matter. It is kind of a cool gag, but...
So it makes you know that
this movie just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. So how do they steal the car?
Slimer takes the car, and then the military shows up. They're just running around the city, the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And Kevin...
This is awful.
Kevin freezes everybody, but then there's also the balloon scene, the fucking parade, the ghost parade, pretty much.
Oh. Before we get on that, let me talk about Kevin freezing everybody. When I first saw it, the theatrical version, I was like, what is he doing? He makes them move a couple different ways, and then makes them stop. And then that was it.
Well, because then when you see the end credits, there's a whole dance sequence that they shot.
Exactly. It's in the extended cut. When he's standing up there, he's like, he gets control of them. He's like, now I want you all to dance. And he's making them dance. And
that's the thing. I don't know who thought... And it's a cliche in most comedies.
So many dancing scenes in this movie.
Equals funny for some reason.
There are so many dancing scenes in this fucking movie. And this one's playing Bee Gees.
In the extended edition, it's Bee Gees?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is it Staying Alive?
No. It's
so
disco-y.
At least it's not that, but...
It is awful. And I'm like, okay, well now I get why he was doing that in the other version, but another dance scene? Really? After you already had 4 or 5? Who the fuck?
It's terrible.
So, now the Macy's Day Parade ship.
There's the Stay Puffed fucking...
A Stay Puffed fucking damn.
float.
And it lands on them. And this is one of the worst moments to me.
It's an interesting shot since it's coming, like, the camera is
in the
showing
pavement.
them from the, like, it's almost like the camera is underground looking up.
Yeah, and when technically their faces are in the fucking pavement.
Yeah, they're just fucked.
But it's just not funny, being squished up against a window, technically, and speaking weird because face is smashed. And then pop, here's that Swiss Army knife. And I'm like, oh, you could just pop a ghost?
It kind of makes me laugh, the fucking Stay Puft float's face right before it explodes. That it kind of makes, like, the oh shit face before fucking...
Yeah.
And another good reference is, when they're fighting in Times Square, for some reason there's a poster for a Boris Karloff movie.
Oh, damn, I missed that.
I
totally
don't know
missed it.
where they're showing a Boris Karloff movie, but it's there.
Definitely in 2018.
You know, someone on the crew like added that in there, and it's like, all right, I'm glad I got that in there.
Yeah, somebody's gonna notice this and think I'm cool.
Some podcaster.
Yeah.
And so they're fighting the ghosts, and it's overly actiony. The
Way
Aldrich
over.
Mansion ghost comes back.
This is a part that annoys me because it's like, how are you guys doing flips and
When this shit is supposed to be heavy.
exactly, it's supposed to be heavy, and you are clearly not trained in fighting like this, but you're...
I guess the new proton pack design is smaller than the original and a little more compact, but still, again, the first movie just did so much better because there was a level of realism to it.
Exactly.
And here we're just watching people fight cartoons.
Yeah, they're fighting cartoons.
Leslie Jones shreds up a fucking ghost, and then Kristen Wiig fucking walks by in the background. Ah, missed me.
Oh, yeah. I think the slime is after me, personally.
And then she does say hello to my little friend.
That's
another line that's been
one.
over fucking done.
Over fucking done. And clearly that's the gun that Holtzman didn't want her to mess with earlier. And, I do like Holtzman's little, I'm gonna pull these cool little side guns out of my pack, and she licks the motherfucker. That was cool to me. I was like, all right, that's putting a little bit more personality into this character. Like, why are you licking your gun? I don't know.
But then again, why are you licking your gun?
Exactly, it's Holtzman shit.
That's why Holtzman is another conundrum of a character. That's just like I said at the beginning of this podcast, I want to like you. I really do. But there's something about you that I just loathe.
I would rather have an overly cartoonish, mad scientist, weird for weird's sake character than an overly cartoonish, dumb for dumbness sake character.
Why wasn't this concept just turned into a new cartoon? Holtzman seems like she'd belong in a Ghostbusters cartoon.
Exactly. To me, like I said before, I feel like she would have fit in pretty well with like the Extreme Ghostbusters, or
absolutely. If the writing was touched up a little bit, she would fit right in.
Yeah. Or she could have even been hanging out with the original crew.
Possibly.
Yeah,
she could have been like
she's distinct
Egon's
enough.
protege.
Yeah, she'd be the one that like she looks up to Egon to the point to where Egon is fucking weirded out. He's like, she's a little too much for me.
The only woman Egon spared.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than Janine.
Exactly. And so, yeah, she licks her gun. I thought that was cool, but the sequence, yeah, it's stylish and it's showing her be a badass, but at this point, I'm turning out. I'm tuning out. This is just a fucking light show of nothing but lasers and we're like at this point, like I said, her disregard for human life has become a disregard for all life and unlife.
Tuning out, just like our audience.
And they're just killing these ghosts, shooting the ghosts. They're not even worried about trapping them anymore. They trapped one ghost.
There is a funny moment though. I'll let you finish, but there is a funny moment where they're walking through all the frozen people. And Leslie Jones just yells, why are you all like this?
Or yeah, why y'all like this?
Why are you all frozen?
Why y'all
like this? And she goes, I think there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
That was a good line. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, there was not even really any point in trapping the ghosts, except to kill Bill Murray.
Yeah, no, they're not Ghostbusters,
They trapped one ghost just to kill Bill Murray.
and maybe a few ghosts off screen, but like, yeah, they're just fuck. Like, what would you call it? Ghost killers? Yeah.
So they go up in the hotel, and you've
And
got
the piano gets thrown at them. There's some pratfalls.
yeah. So in the theatrical version, do they do the chair gag?
Elaborate. They might have.
There's another little Holtzman moment that I dig, where the guy says something like, "Here, have a seat," and he pushes a chair behind her with his magical ghost powers, and Holtzman goes to take the seat, and he flicks the chair away, and she falls on her ass. And he starts laughing, and she gets up, and he's like, "Do you get it? Do you get the joke?" And she's like, "Yeah, I like that one. That's a classic, man." It's like she was digging it. She was like, "I got you, motherfucker." That's
She was
cool.
like, "Ha ha ha! You're fucking dead."
Nah, it was more like, you know what? I can get down with you.
I think that's in the theatrical version. It sounds like something I've seen, but
Yeah.
I guess you're just more down with Holtzman than I am.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, Ben. I like that random fucking just weirdness. But
What
no.
I do like is when we get the animated Ghostbusters logo for a second. That's kind of just a cool effect.
That was a cool little effect there. So he's
But
flying around.
It's discount Stay Puffed.
Exactly. And probably in the worst way. And let's get to that in a second. He's flying around. They're trying to shoot him. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm tired of this body." And they're like, "Oh, don't you dare hurt Kevin." How do you guys care about Kevin now? And
Because he's cute and handsome and cute and
Kristen
good
Wiig
looking.
wants to bone him.
Yeah.
So he's okay. And yeah, he says, "I can take any form you want. What would you prefer?" "Oh, some nice, cute, and cuddly ghost." So he turns into the Ghostbuster logo, which is a cool looking little cartoon animation there.
How funny would it be if he turned into Casper?
Right? That would have been awesome. And the little cross out part turns into a bow tie.
Yeah.
And he grows and grows and grows, and he's running from him, and he busts out the building, and
The Slimer fucking ghosts fly the car into a portal.
yeah,
The portal opens.
the portal's open. They're trying to. We need to cross the streams. "Oh, you mean the one thing you said that was going to kill us? Yeah, let's do it." So they do it, and it's not powerful enough. And oh, there's a nuclear bomb on that car. And so Slimer and his raving ghouls
fall into the thing, and there's this moment where him and the Lady Slimer look at each other while they're flying in the air, and they're just like, you know what? This is still pretty damn fun.
Yeah, like, this is fucking cool. And
Just thriving in anarchy.
exactly, like a fun little Slimer moment there.
Yeah.
And
So now they got Rowan, giant Rowan monster, getting sucked into the portal, but he's holding on to the fucking buildings. So what do?
They say, "Let's loosen his grip."
They don't aim for the flat top. They aim for the nuts.
They aim for the nuts.
Ghost nards.
Yeah, Ghost Nards. So, at the beginning of the movie, we get a fart joke. At the end of the movie, we get a
Nut shot.
Yeah, nut shot. So I had to get it in there somewhere, and
Comedy gold, Travis.
just I laughed so hard that
My nuts busted.
I died, and you're talking to a ghost, Travis, now. I've never laughed so hard in my life seeing this ghost get hit in the nuts by these cartoon lasers and making his little, oh, they got me in the nuts face. Oh, yes.
And then Melissa McCarthy falls into the portal, and I kind of like the look of this scene of them falling through the portal.
Yeah, I like how sound goes away.
Much. And it almost seems like a ripoff of Lord of the Rings fucking Two Towers.
Oh,
when
yeah.
Gandalf is fucking fighting the Balrog while falling.
Yeah. But I do like how the sound goes away at this moment. Because it kind of shows you that whatever realm they're about to be going to is unearthly.
It's kind of Stranger Things-y.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's kind of cool because Stranger Things is obviously inspired by stuff like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we get this thing. They pull an Evil Dead 2 Nightmare on Elm Street on us, where back then when big, like, paranormal shit happened, like in Evil Dead 2, Ash gets a gray streak in his hair. In fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy gets a gray streak in her hair.
Huh.
These two women go full on white within a cut. And it seems like something that would be useless, but it's kinda cool, you know what I mean?
You know, I never made the connection that it had something to do with paranormal stuff. I always thought that it had to do with an immense amount of stress because.
Well, yeah, that's in the other movies. That's obviously what it is, especially in Evil Dead 2. But it could also have to do with a mixture of the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you'd have to think that
stress, like you're giving off this vibe, you're giving off this energy that the paranormal energy could possibly take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
For I don't know for what end, just to make your hair gray.
And here's one thing that does annoy me now. All right, she wraps this metal cable around her waist, and she's expecting this to not cut her in half, because you gotta think she's falling at an increasing rate, and she grabs hold of someone who is much heavier than her, and when it pulls, when she gets to the last bit of it, it should have fucking severed her whole body in half. And
but I guess once you enter the portal, you're kind of in a realm of your own,
yeah,
I guess.
Maybe there's no gravity.
Where there's maybe an anti-gravity aspect.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really make sense since
they're falling.
The giant monster is falling.
Exactly. So, I mean, she should have, but also going back to the metal concert when that singer gets thrown through them amps and they all fall on him, there's no way in real life that you're going to be back up singing after that.
Yeah, at this point, it's like the movie's almost over, whatever.
Yeah. And so the other girls are pulling them out as if there was no weight to on the end of this cord at all.
And then we get one of the strangest gags that, if it's an outtake, it's an outtake used as an intake, where Kevin has a sandwich.
This is...
And she throws the sandwich off. And this part is actually kind of funny in the kind of oh, isn't it kind of weird that we left this in?
Yeah.
Where it's kind of stuff where he's like, could I get another one? And then just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Another, sandwich or another wrap, whatever the fuck he was eating, is thrown back at him.
And he catches it.
And, like, Chris Hemsworth, you could tell he wants to laugh.
Yeah.
But we don't.
So did you see the extended version?
No.
It goes on forever. They throw the sandwich, they throw it back, and then they throw the sandwich again, and I want to say they throw it back, they throw it again, and
they do it like multiple times.
Yeah, but it's like then it turns into something different every time. Is it? God, what was it? Was it a donut? It was some kind of other food for a couple throws, and then it's like, oh, hand me that beverage over there, and they throw a bottle of water, and he opens the bottle of water and takes a sip. It goes on, dude.
Fucking Christ, and the movie.
It is painful. Painful. And then the movie should have just ended right there, man.
But then they get the firehouse, and we get not the final cameo, because there's shit during the fucking end credits scene.
During the credits. But see, after this,
it's the only cameo I'm really down with.
They're at the restaurant before this, and the government lady says, here, have all the money you need. So then it goes to Ernie Hudson being like, what you do with my car?
And that's kind of funny, because it's like, it's a cameo that is directly related to one of the characters and actually has something to do with the plot, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's a character who's been mentioned before, and it's a pleasant surprise that it's Ernie Hudson.
Exactly.
And let's be fair, Ernie Hudson is the only one who has aged well.
That is the fucking truth.
Annie Potts has aged okay, you know. Sigourney Weaver has aged pretty well. Bill Murray looks like he's been through Nom and a half.
Nom and a half.
Isn't it great that Rick Moranis wasn't roped into this shit?
Seriously, oh.
He straight up said, I'm not doing that.
So they get the firehouse, and then we get... This is one thing that annoys me, alright? When a movie doesn't know when to end. Show these scenes before the credits. Don't show them during the credits. Oh, it annoys me so much.
It feels like it's trying too hard to set up a sequel.
Yeah, because boom, here, let me show you the containment unit.
And I get the feeling, even though this movie wouldn't have been made if Harold Ramis was still alive, I get the feeling that the Sigourney Weaver cameo was originally probably intended for Egon.
It would have been Egon if...
because it's Holtzman's fucking master,
mentor.
pretty much.
Yeah. And you know what? I liked that. I liked Sigourney Weaver being a weird scientist with no fucking disregard for life. When she straight up says, if you can sneeze wrong in here and just destroy everybody. And she's like, yeah, this is pretty cool. It's so dangerous in here. Like, I really dug that, you know? That's that Holtzman shit that I'm all about.
And maybe we could have gotten some more of that in a sequel, but this movie fucking tanked. And then we have this terrible effect. They go up on the roof, and there's lights everywhere that say, I love the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So the government did a shit job covering it up.
I guess they did know we did it.
Well, I mean, at this point, it's kind of hard not to fucking know.
Oh my god.
I can't wait for the sequel where they say, we don't believe in ghosts anymore.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and so let's go back to the first movie. When they're on the way to save the day, it's playing that song you mentioned that you like, that's Come to Save the Day shit.
Yeah.
What did they play in this one on the we're in the car about to go save the day?
What do they play?
Motherfucking Fall Out Boy and Missy Elliott. All them ghosts be on my wall. All them ghosts is big and tall, yo.
Right now, I'm looking at the credits, and literally, instead of just saying Ozzy Osbourne as himself, the character he is labeled as playing is famous rock star.
Oh my god.
So it's like they probably didn't even intend Ozzy to be in the movie. They were just thinking, who can we get?
Wow.
Which is a severe fucking, like, misuse of Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And this is where they show the dancing scene, which, just why? Why? Just cut it out of the movie entirely.
Oh my god.
And the credits are moving like Kevin will fucking move his arm and the credits will move to the side. And it starts to look like something Jack Torrance wrote in The Shining.
This movie.
But at least it is over.
Yeah, God. Awful movie.
So what would you rate Ghostbusters Answer the Call 2016 Fail Boot? I originally gave it like a 4 out of 10, but I feel like I was being too generous because I was in denial.
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 only because of
The Holtzman
Holtzman. Yeah, the Holtzman shit and some of the Leslie shit.
Yeah, 3 is fair. I might go as far as a 2.
Yeah.
It's not a 1. That's the thing. That spot is reserved for Slender Man.
It's definitely not a 1 or a 0.
There was potential, and that's what makes...
Yeah.
I might have said this before on other podcasts, but that's what makes a really bad movie, is the fact that there was something, and they didn't go for it.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, fuck, there's a Del Vecchio in the fucking credits.
Wow.
Delaney Del Vecchio did, like, some shit in the movie.
What up, Delaney?
I think it was Delaney.
Is that your
You're
uncle?
not related to me.
Is that your Uncle Delaney?
I hope not. So I'm ashamed of my uncle then.
Damn it, man. Why'd you have to be in Ghostbusters? Oh my god.
Long lost Uncle Delaney.
Yeah. Here, Frank, take all the money I made working on Ghostbusters.
I don't want your dirty money, Uncle.
Oh, fuck. So, yeah, this movie to me is a hard 2 or a soft 3. Best thing about it...
Not something I'd ever really want to watch again.
Yeah, never. I didn't plan on watching this movie twice, but I had to.
Especially not the extended edition.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was a pain.
So this might be longer than our top 10 comedies video. I remember that one ranged into the 3-hour mark.
Somewhere there. This movie, I can't recommend it for anybody. I can say the whole...
Yes, for kids, I guess. The only thing that's good about this movie is it's keeping the Ghostbusters name, I guess, relevant. But at the same time, Ghostbusters didn't need help being relevant.
Exactly.
It was such a cultural phenomenon that it's never... If anything, this is bringing it more towards the grave.
Yeah. It's becoming a ghost of its own that needs to be busted.
So speaking of that...
Well, here it is. The DVD that cost me next to nothing at a 7-Eleven. No offense, ladies, it's not your fault this movie turned out to be shit. Paul Feig. Fuck you, dick. Wait a second. The fuck is this? Oh my god. It's the fucking thing from the Plinkett review. We got the cheesy burger and everything. I heard this game fucking blew. Why are all these movies labeled as rated R? None of them are rated R. So I'm about to demonstrate literal ghost busting. And the flowers are still standing.
So stay tuned and stay duned.
Yeah, with the only podcast that spoons the dune. Fresh from the basement.
So is that it? Are we signing off?
We're signing off.
All right. Laters.
Well, my joints is so, can't get it up no more. I walk with a limp, they call me one-eyed gimp. Well, my hair falling out, my feet got gout. I'm getting old, I'm getting old. Arthritis in my knee, it takes me too long to pee. My chair on wheels, got wheels on my meals. Well, my body in pain, gotta walk with a cane. I'm getting old, I'm getting old. Want a funeral clown when they put me in the ground. Don't none of you cry on the day that I die. You can eat my body cause it tastes like bread. I'll be a stubborn old bastard till the day that I'm dead. I used to be young, now I cough out a lung. Sit in the bath with my oxygen mask. My back is hurting, tallywhacker ain't working. Ooh, oh yeah, I'm getting old. Well, I drive real slow, best get out of the road. I shatter my hip every time I slip. Can't really live like this, gotta sit when I piss. I'm getting old, I'm getting old. Drink my blood cause it tastes like liquor. You can have my kidneys, you can have my liver. Burn my body, cut it all up to pieces. I'll have a neat story when I go meet Jesus. I'm getting old, I'm getting old, I'm getting old.